It had been an unforeseen winless drought for Kevin Thomas Jr., who had endured a tumultuous season in 2020, a period of time which resulted in a shockingly winless campaign the year before. But 2021 was going to be different. Thomas just knew it. KTJ signaled a resounding stamp to his winning ways for the first time in 16 months in the series season opener at Ocala, Florida's Bubba Raceway Park in a non-stop green to checkered event, the fastest 30 laps ever run at the 3/8 mile D-shaped oval.
Starting spot to keep Justin Grant behind him, and now Grant's got his hands full with the number 9, the heat race number 1 winner, Kevin Thomas Jr. Grant now the fastest car with a 14.5. Cummins a 14.5, KTJ a 14.6. How about Brady Bacon going around the top side here? Bacon, remember, he started this race a little bit farther back. We've been clean and green through the first 11 laps. Should see 18 to go this time by. Man, KTJ is so close to Justin Grant, but he just can't get all the way alongside JG. Yeah, right as I say it, it looks like he's finally able to force the issue into 3 and 4, and KTJ keeps it right down on the bottom and keeps his speed. New driver to second place, it's Kevin Thomas Jr., and they catch up to Kyle Cummins, who's having a nightmare with this lap traffic. Finally, Cummins is able to get to the inside of the 33 of Westfall, but there's KTJ. KTJ sees his spot, picks his spot, and gets through on the outside of 4. Right to the inside as they exited turn number 4. KTJ, now your new race leader as we reach the halfway point, 15 down, 15 left. Thorson in 4th, but he's got Tyler Courtney right behind him. They might start to split this lap traffic here. Oh, Courtney gets hung up, and that allows Brady Bacon to try to pick Courtney's pocket. Courtney, he's quick on his feet, folks. He's good at getting out of a jam. Courtney finally sips his way through lap traffic. Thorson and Courtney might be able to split Matt Westfall here. Westfall in the yellow number 33 right in the middle. Thorson down on the inside. Courtney on the high side. Where does Thorson go? It gets too tight in turn 3. Thorson has no inside lane. Courtney around the high side. He's got no time for flat tires here in 2021. KTJ trying to drive away from him. Now Grant makes a big move on Cummins, getting down on the brakes in 3. Grant running right down on the bottom, and it works for him. Grant up to second spot. That's back to where he originally started this race. But as the white flag waves, whatever Thomas Jr. did in the offseason seems to have worked. Midget weekend didn't go to his liking. But here, kicking off night number 1, the AMSOIL National Sprint Cars has gone his way. Coming off of 4, the checkers wave. Kevin Thomas Jr. is your winner in Ocala.
New engines, new cars, new crew guys, and a new shop. That is among the inventory Justin Grant adapted to for the start of the new season. But what isn't new is finding victory lane early and often with the series, which he did once more in race number 2. And like clockwork, Grant has now won each of his 3 USAC National Sprint Car features in Ocala on a Friday night in an odd-numbered year, previously doing so in both 2017 and 2019.
Job at getting out in front, but it's Jake Swanson, the driver who started this race back on the inside of row number 3. Swanson, fastest lap number 1, 16.266, and he uses that speed to take over the race lead. But Kyle Cummins comes right back on the inside in 1, but Swanson gets through the middle just a little bit better. Thorson trying to make something happen on the outside. Can he keep it wound up? No, but what he does do is he allows Justin Grant down to the inside. So Grant up to second position after getting around Thorson. Grant doing some good work in this one. Here he goes, he's setting his sights on Jake Swanson. Grant told us what it takes to be fast here, and he is committed to the bottom all night, and it's paid off. JG to the race lead. Oh, but will it count? Because yellow flags wave here. So we get ready to go here, coming to halfway this time. Jake Swanson brings them back to green flag racing. Justin Grant got Tanner Thorson all over the tail tank. Buddy Kofoid rebounding well after kind of a sketchy night last night. Everybody, for the most part, trying to live down on the bottom. But Kyle Cummins and Brady Bacon say, that's okay, we'll go upstairs and try to make it work. Last time by, Swanson was a 15.9. Grant was a little bit slower, 16 flat. Let's see what they do here. Grant's reeling him in. He's going to take a look down at 1, and he feeds him a right rear. I don't want to use that phrase too much, but he really did throw that right rear right up into Jake Swanson's left front, and with that, Grant takes over the top spot. Now, who is it up top? Buddy Kofoid saw Brady Bacon coming upstairs and said, hey, that looks fun, I'm going to try it. But then he goes back down to the bottom in 1 and 2. Let's see what he does here in 3 and 4. Now the leader starting to catch lap traffic. The Driven to Save Lives, number 57 of Cole Bodine, slows Justin Grant up just for a moment, and Buddy Kofoid keeps it wound up around the top. There's the 14 AJ of Davey Ray. Kofoid's got to try and climb downstairs to go to the bottom, but he commits to the top once again. This is the race for the lead, coming down to see 5 to go, and of course, there's a yellow flag. Green flags in the air. It's time to settle it in Ocala. So Brady Bacon has just silently been there all night long. He's worked his way up from outside the top 10. He's up to third now, but Tanner Thorson takes a look down to the inside. Thorson trying to make something work down low as they see 5 laps remaining in this one. Kofoid takes a page out of Justin Grant's book and works down low. Let's see what he can do here in 3 and 4. He backs his entry up a lot. That hurts him on corner entry. I'm not positive Kofoid doesn't have a problem because he just gave up second. We rejoin our leader, the number 4 of Justin Grant. He won a heat race last night. He finished second. He won a heat race tonight. He will not finish second again here. He's going to go up top. He's going to dust the fans. He comes down to win it. Grant's your winner, night number 2 in Ocala.
Lawrenceburg Speedway is the focal point in which Brady Bacon, Dynamics Incorporated, and Hoffman Auto Racing reached yet another zenith in their successful racing relationship. On this night, the team received its rewards for the previous season's title, and when the evening was all said and done, the rewards were aplenty, and the gifts, well, they kept on giving.
Lap number 1. 30 here on the docket tonight. Bacon up to third place, and then there we see a good old huckabuck, as Chris Wheeler would say. 3-4 cars fighting themselves. Boy, and look at it. Big Daddy, the number 19 of Chris Wyndham, started this race back on the outside of row number 5, and he's already battling inside the top 5 positions now. Paul Nienheiser right there behind him in 4th. Grant looks good here as he goes back to the top in 3 and 4. But now Bacon finds speed in the middle. 27 laps left in this one. Nienheiser has gotten around Cole Bodine, and now Nienheiser sets his sights on the number 4 of Justin Grant. Nienheiser commits to the bottom, and it's going to work. Nienheiser around JG. That's for 3rd on the leaderboard. Nienheiser up another spot. A little bit farther down, Cole Bodine in 5th. Chris Wyndham right there going side by side with him in 6th. Wyndham pulls up to Bodine, says hi. Now he's trying to say bye, but Bodine says you're going to have to work a little bit harder than that. Bodine lives hard on the high side. He's going to stay right there in the 5th position. Moving now back up to our leaders because Brady Bacon has brought the fight to CJ Leary. Bacon trying to go back-to-back in wins at the Berg. Bacon, your new leader, here with 24 laps to go. CJ Leary follows Bacon right back up to the high side of the track and is going to work with him as they head down to 3 and 4. But if he wants to drive down the hill for corner exit, it does that as well. Remember, Wyndham for Hayward Motorsports with NOS Energy Drink and B&H Construction on the side gives Paul Nienheiser a look, and he picks up 3rd position. Wyndham continuing to move up the order after starting this race back in the 10th position. Where is Bacon? Deep in lap traffic, but it ain't no thing. Brady Bacon, he's just picking them up and putting them down here. Oh, KTJ gets a little bit of trouble as he is part of this lap traffic, trying to race with cars here who are getting put a lap down and maybe just not knowing where everybody was going to go. KTJ does a good job inside of 3 laps to go now. Brady Bacon absolutely leaving them here at the Berg. He won back here in the fall, and he's trying to go back-to-back here. Oh no, Leary might get tangled up with Max Adams. He does a good job to avoid trouble there, and he's also going to use Adams as a pick for Chris Wyndham. White flag will fly. Next time by, Brady Bacon in the number 69 says, wine me, dine me, but don't try to stop me, because Bacon has 1 lap to go here at Lawrenceburg before he secures back-to-back victories. You see Bacon working on Sterling Kling, trying to put the 34 1 lap down. Leary led early, but nobody has had anything for the reigning winner here at Lawrenceburg. The number 69 of Brady Bacon goes back-to-back at the Berg.
Sometimes you gotta roll with what got you there in the first place, and on those occasions when you change up the plan midstream, you've got to find your way back. Kevin Thomas Jr. checked the boxes on all of the above throughout Friday night's 30-lap Larry Rice Classic USAC National Sprint Car feature at Bloomington.
But meanwhile, JG, Justin Grant, your Fatheads Eyewear Quick Time Award winner, trying to go top shelf around his NOS Energy Drink fellow driver, Chris Windham, but the battle is now at the front of the field for the lead. Cottle using that inside front row starting spot, but KTJ was able to rip the top in his heat race during a battle with the madman Robert Ballou, and KTJ likes how it looks up top, and he's able to show the tail tank to pole sitter and early race leader Shane Cottle, now back to second. He climbs the curb just a little bit. I think that hurt his mid-corner speed, and it opens the door for Brady Bacon, and the number 69, the Dynamics Incorporated driver, gets stopped on the top by KTJ, so he says, that's all right, I'll look to the middle. But KTJ able to keep it rolling no matter where he puts that 9. This is the fight for the lead right now on your monitor, coming up on 20 laps left in this one. 10 down, 20 to go here. Next time by in the Larry Rice Classic, Kevin Thomas Jr. 2020, not the year he would ever write home about. Likes the bottom. He's made it work. He's picked up positions after inheriting the 3rd spot, and he tries to look on the inside of KT, but has to jump on the brakes. That allows KT to slingshot out of 3 and 4. KT with a healthy lead now. Bacon tries the top side here. Kyle Cummins goes top shelf as well, but he's got the throttle way down low. Shane Cottle, oh boy, Kyle Cummins got the right rear over the ledge just for a moment, but he's able to gather it back up. Cummins likes an out-of-control race car. I'd say that's what he's got underneath him here tonight. Coming up on 10 laps to go in this one. KT doing a good job. He's gone to the top on all of his restarts so far. This time he gets down on the bottom. He's definitely seeing the inside get to where he wants it to be. And Brady Bacon doesn't care. He'll try KT high. He'll try KT low. And it works down on the inside. That time by. With 5 laps to go, Brady Bacon's taking over the top spot. But can he stay there? 4 laps left in this one. Kevin Thomas Jr. is not going to make it easy on the driver from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. KT trying to work the inside. Bacon pitches it off. 3 to go this time. KT not wanting to lead this whole way, just to give it up with 5 laps to go, and he's got plenty of time to try to make something happen. But Bacon, he wants to go back-to-back in AMSOIL National Sprint Car victories. KT says no soup for you as he goes back to the top here. 2 laps to go. They'll see the white flag wave, this time by 29 down, 1 to go here at Bloomington. Kevin Thomas Jr. scored the opening victory of the season in round 1 back in Ocala, Florida. He's found his groove. He's back in it. He's hitting on all cylinders. The driver from Coleman, Alabama takes the 9K to the victory lane. Underneath the VP Racing Fuels checkered flags, it's Kevin Thomas Jr.
Kyle Cummins had won practically every named race at Tri-State Speedway, but the first 8 editions of the Spring Showdown had eluded him thus far. Cummins' journey during the night entailed continuous alterations, trials, and errors and improvements on the car throughout the course of the evening following qualifying, the heat race, and even prompted a well-placed phone call to his father Mark, a sprint car hero himself at Tri-State during the 1980s and 90s.
But Jaden Rogers stays on the gas. Meanwhile, Brady Bacon trying to make moves. He's your quickest car on the track, but the battle for the lead will not die down. Jaden Rogers continues to harass Chase Stockin here. Oh, Stockin just has such good corner exit. Rogers gets him right there, entry to middle. Can he cover him on the exit? Yes, he does. New leader, Jaden Rogers. Stockin tries to cross him back over and come right back underneath him. Cummins letting her eat way up top in 3 and 4, but honestly, that car seems to be good anywhere he puts it. Grant has gotten solidly up into the 5th position. Schmidt gets into a little bit of trouble coming out of 2. Robert Ballou does a good job of avoiding him. Everybody pointed in the right direction halfway. 15 down, 15 to go. This time by. Past the halfway point now, we are still clean and green. Rogers takes it to the top. Max Adams, and that's going to be the 17 of Kendall Rubel getting together. Rubel goes around, and trouble for Nienheiser. Nienheiser comes to a stop down on the exit of 2. Rick, get somewhere where you can see, because it's about to get big here at Tri-State Speedway. 11 laps to go. Boy, Jaden Rogers is nailing the restarts, but don't look now. Kyle Cummins from Princeton, Indiana, has caught up to the back bumper of Chase Stockton. Cummins lighting that right rear up. He's got something for him. He's got 10 laps to make it happen. Cummins draws nearly even with Stockton on corner entry. Stockton's not going to let him just have it though, but Cummins trying, and he does. He finally rips the second position away. They'll see 4 to go this time at the line. Kyle Cummins, Mr. Hopstadt, Indiana, but Jaden Rogers just might have something for him here tonight. Don't go anywhere, folks. 3 laps to go, this time by. Rogers to the top, Cummins to the bottom, lap traffic not too far ahead, yellow flag waves, and they've all got to get on the binders. Jaden Rogers enters the night, not even in the top 5 in points, but that doesn't matter. He's going to get himself a win here at Tri-State. Kyle Cummins throws a bomb down to the inside, and it's going to stick at least for that corner. Jaden Rogers is going to try him right back in 3 and 4. Rogers slides him. Can Rogers make it stick? He bounces off the cushion. Cummins clears him back as they go into 1 and 2. 3 laps to go. Kyle Cummins made a big move. Rogers made an even bigger one. It was close. It didn't stick. Cummins is going for 6 national sprint car victories here at Tri-State Speedway. 1.5 laps to go. Jaden Rogers has led so much of this night here. 30 laps. The white flag waves. Kyle Cummins, Mr. Tri-State Speedway, Mr. Hopstadt, Indiana. He's tied for the most active drivers with the highest win total. He's going to take over the top spot with his 6th win here in Hopstadt.
In this era, few drivers have demonstrated their domination of a single racetrack as well as Brady Bacon has at Grandview Speedway over his past 4 visits to the 1/3 mile dirt oval. On a chilly Thursday night in the lid lifter for Keystone Invasion, Bacon stoked the fires once again on his hot streak, winning his 4th straight series race at the track. An extraordinary feat that has only been accomplished by those at the top of the game, a group in which the Broken Arrow, Oklahoma driver certainly belongs.
Trying to make something happen in 7th, right where he started this race. Tanner Thorson not far behind in 8th, and it's starting to be a logjam right here throughout the top 5. Buckwalter stumbles out of 2, and Bacon walks around the outside. Jake Swanson wants to come along for the ride, but Buckwalter gets back on his horse. Now Bacon sets his sights on Brandon Maddox for 2nd place. Brandon Maddox is going to have to make that car awfully wide if he wants to keep the Macho Man behind him, and he's going to have to do it quickly. Bacon down to the inside in 3. He says hi, now he says bye. Brady Bacon up to 2nd. It's the leaders. Slicing, dicing, looking high, looking low. Now Bacon almost takes a look into 3. Kevin Thomas Jr. skates wide. Brady Bacon, as they reach the halfway point, 20 down, 20 to go in this 40-lap feature. Thomas Jr. has been dominant to this point, but Brady Bacon trying to go 4 for 4 and trips up here to Grandview. Drivers and teams alike said the track was pretty tacky through the heat races due to the amount of work that they had been doing with the water trucks, with turning it over, but the modifieds have widened it out, and you can see that here. Everywhere you can race. Brady Bacon was up top, now he's down low. Bacon to the inside, Bacon to the front. Bacon takes over the top spot. But don't count Kevin Thomas Jr. out. KTJ is going to stay right behind the 69. Thomas Jr. looks low, tries to set sail, but man, Bacon has it working on the top side through 3. Now Robert Ballou trying to make something happen for the 4th position. Ballou sends it down into turn number 3. He's going to slide up. If Jake Swanson can just stay at home, he'll be able to get the spot back. No, Ballou drives it out of turn 4. Ballou moves up to the 4th position. The field will come around here off of 4 to see 5 laps left. Boy, Robert Ballou continues to pick them up and put them down. The Madman way down to the inside on Thorson. How about that move by Ballou? He's able to get it once again. He gets Thorson just like he got around Jake Swanson just on the other end of the racetrack. Now Kevin Thomas Jr. with 3 laps to go has found some speed. The lead goes from 1/2 a second to under 3/10. Kevin Thomas Jr. has got something. The question is, does he have enough time? They're coming around to see 2 laps to go in this one. The lead goes from 0.2 of a second now to 0.4 of a second. Bacon kicked it up a little bit there as he was able to put 2/10 back between he and Kevin Thomas Jr. KT wants this one, and he wants it bad. He's got the track record here at Grandview. He wants a victory. Brady Bacon, though, has been the man to beat for the 3 last years. He makes his way off a 2, down the back straightaway. The driver from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, they call him the Macho Man. They're about to give him the keys at Grandview Speedway. Bacon does it. He goes 4 for 4 at Grandview.
Tanner Thorson made clear his intentions to not just be known as the top rookie with the USAC National Sprint Cars. He let it be known he'd rather be the top dog of the series as a frequent contender for feature wins. Thorson took the first step during the second stop on the Keystone Invasion Tour in the series' first visit in 9 seasons to Pennsylvania's Big Diamond Speedway. In doing so, Thorson kept a streak intact at Big Diamond, becoming the 4th consecutive driver to win his first career USAC National Sprint Car feature at the track, following Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Cole Witt, and Chris Wyndham.
Inside of Grant doesn't care. He stays on it. Up front, the battle for the lead picks up. Tanner Thorson trying to roll up on Jake Swanson. Couple of West Coast drivers. Thorson by way of Minden, Nevada. Swanson, Anaheim, California, driving for a team out of Arizona. Thorson looking to the inside, looking, but Swanson lives on the top. Whoa, how about that touch, but not touch too much. Tanner Thorson let the right front Hoosier leave a little mark on the back bumper of Swanson. Halfway in this one, 15 down, 15 to go. What does Thorson have for Swanson? Thorson gets a good run out of 2. They're almost neck and neck, but Swanson shuts the door into 3. Oh man, Thorson's lap times look good. 15.8 to a 15.6 by Swanson. Swanson knows that he's got to get down to the bottom because that's where Thorson's been looking. Swanson covers the inside, but Thorson is so good from the middle of the corner off. This is 3rd, 4th, and 5th on your monitor. Leary sets sail into 3. Up front, though, Thorson in the 19 AZ. Swanson in the 21 AZ. A couple of Arizona drivers, well, Arizona teams, going to it here for the lead in PA. Gosh, Thorson is so good from middle out to the exit of the corner. They're pretty much even on entry, but I got to give the nod to Thorson on corner exit. Lap times look really even. 15.6 for Swanson, 15.8 for Thorson. Thorson rips the lip off of 2. Thorson to the front. Can he keep it there? He's going to try. Swanson wants to work back on the inside. No! Thorson leads the lap. He's the new leader with 10 to go here at Big Diamond. And they're about to see the white flag in the air. Tanner Thorson leads it. Thorson pairing up with Reinbold Underwood Motorsports. They were victorious in Tulsa, Oklahoma 2 weeks ago at the T-Town Midget Showdown. He has not won a national sprint car feature yet. Big Diamond Speedway's got a knack for handing out first-time winners. Thorson adds his name to the list. Thorson wins it at Big Diamond.
CJ Leary had free reign on his new partnership with Michael Motorsports with a new car and new shocks, but the only thing the car owner prioritized was winning with a Ford power plant. They got both in the penultimate round of Keystone Invasion at Baps Motor Speedway, and in the process checked off the first USAC National Sprint Car feature victory by a Ford engine since Bobby East at Toledo Speedway a decade earlier.
Picks up second, Chase Stockton comes along for the ride on the inside. CJ Leary started on the outside of the front row. He hung a hard left getting down into turn 1. Justin Grant looks to the inside, down in 1. He slides way big up right across Leary, and he's going to leave the door open. Ballou picks up a spot. Wyndham does as well. Wyndham battling with Ballou now for the second position, and they all just push up wide through 3 and 4. Wyndham solidly into the second position. You can't say Justin Grant isn't trying every chance he gets, and Grant's going to slide up in front of Ballou. And the driver he's trying to pass for the second time in 1 and 2. Grant is not going to give up. He goes right back to the well in 3 and 4. It works a little bit better for him here this time, but Ballou feeds him a right rear. Grant has to get out of the throttle as Ballou stays right where he's been for most of this race in the 3rd position. Reds out on the track as we see a few drivers together. Ricky Lewis up and out of his car. That's the B1 of Joey Biasi and the 28 of Maddox. Brandon Maddox, He's not happy. It doesn't look like it at all. He has a conversation with Ricky Lewis. Maddox shoves Lewis down against the left rear. Maddox very upset with the driver of the 11L. 9 laps left in this one. Green flag waves. We are racing at Baps Motor Speedway. So Leary knows to go down to the bottom to defend. He pushes up through 3. Oh, he bangs off the cushion in 2. Apologies, 2 rather. So that opens up the door. Wyndham gets a huge run. Wyndham sends it, but he's going to bang off the cushion, maybe even get a piece of the wall. Leary takes the top spot. Right back, 8 to go. It is a high commitment setup here with as slick as both ends of this racetrack are getting. You cannot wait to get to the corner to make a move. You have got to beat the next guy down into either turn 1 or 3. As the white flag waves, C.J. Leary comfortably 2.5 seconds out in front of Justin Grant. Leary works down the back straightaway, driving for Michael Motorsports. It'll be his first win of the 2021 season. The 2019 national champ goes back to victory lane. He wins it here at Baps.
After winning his first just 2 nights earlier, Tanner Thorson's ideals revolved around winning races. As it turned out, Thorson wasn't keen on settling for just a single victory over the weekend. Once you pop, you can't stop, and he wanted more in the Keystone Invasion closer and the series debut at Path Valley.
Stocking tries to get even lower than Leary. Thorson rips the lip, leads lap number 1. Whoa, things get tight right there between Leary and Wyndham, and the left front gets knocked off of Wyndham. Buckwalter goes for a ride, and your championship point leader, Brady Bacon, comes to a stop in the middle of it all. Red flag, 39 to go. Tanner Thorson brings them back to racing. Three wide right back there for 4th, 5th, and 6th position as Justin Grant and KTJ work with Carmen Perigo, Stephen Dravicki, and Brandon Maddox. Leary starting to reel in on Thorson here. And Justin Grant not far behind either. 23 to go. Leary looking. He pulls down to the inside. Thorson's been negotiating lap traffic pretty well, but Leary negotiates Thorson even better. New race leader, C.J. Leary. Whoa, Thorson slides up, and Leary takes evasive action, puts the right sides up in the fluff, and the tiniest bit of white tire smoke comes off as they rub Hoosiers, and now they are going back and forth for the race lead. Thorson gets tight, slides up, Leary hangs the right, Grant drives by for 2nd. Now Leary back to 3rd, KTJ smells blood in the water. Wow. You get these long green flag runs like that, and anything can happen. Leary running his race now sets his sights on Justin Grant, put that back and forth battle with Tanner Thorson. I mean, honestly, that is just good, close, tight racing on a little quarter-mile bull ring. Oh, Leary just cannot help but get tight, and then KTJ slides over the left front, and Leary goes for a loop. Thorson trying to hang on for his 2nd national sprint car win in 3 days. KTJ throws it right down to the bottom, but Justin Grant keeps it wound up on the top, just like he told the fans he was going to do during his heat race interview, working his way through traffic pretty well. C.J. Leary seemed to be the only guy who could really capitalize on the traffic. Thorson coming through, moves Briggs Danner out of the way a little bit. As he comes off of turn 4, the white flag waves here at Path Valley. Tanner Thorson with the confidence of a national sprint car race winner. He told us to expect a lot more and a championship contention. Thorson wins it, his 2nd victory coming in 3 days.
Tyler Courtney's wizardry at Eldora is downright historic, and it reached new levels during the opening leg of the first single-day USAC National Sprint Car double features at the track since 1980. After extensive rainfall the previous night pushed the first of 2 races underneath the daytime sunshine. How fitting for the driver nicknamed Sunshine as he stared down his shot at a 5th consecutive win at a single track, something that had only been done twice before by Jim Hurtubise at Terre Haute and Steve Chassie at Winchester.
In the books, Tyler Courtney trying to leave him here.
Tyler Courtney going for 5 straight. Robert Ballou going for his first USAC National Sprint Car win in 3 years. Hard to believe it's been that long since Ballou's won with the USAC, but he's got probably the best looking race car he's had in a long time here at Eldora, and Robert was super impressive in his heat race.
Gone back and forth, back and forth. Now Chris Windham looks down to the inside in turn number 1. It gets awfully slick down there. Windham pushes up. Bacon hangs the left, tries to drive right back on the inside, but Windham says no soup for you and stays in the 3rd position.
As we cross halfway, what an absolutely dominating performance out of the 7BC as he puts Logan Seavey a lap down, going after CJ Leary. Leary rides in 10th, Tony Laporta, and he goes a lap down.
Tyler Courtney makes quick look of a race winner already this year. CJ Leary. Leary's fighting for his life here to stay on the lead lap. Leary's going to go back down on the inside. This is to stay on the lead lap for Leary, but nobody, I mean nobody, has anything for Tyler Courtney as we near 10 laps to go in this one here at the Big E. Matt Westphal, a late model and a modified track champion here at Eldora. He goes a lap down. Courtney is a man possessed here. Ballou has been left in the dust here. It is over 3.5 seconds, the deficit from Tyler Courtney back to P2. We are inside of 10 laps to go here. Ballou almost gets into trouble as he tries to get around Paul Nienizer. He gets slick. He gets in the slick, slides up, bounces off the cushion, but Ballou keeps it pointed in the right direction.
There go KT and Brady Bacon again, side by side for position into turn number 1. Bacon down on the inside, but KT beats him to the fence and shoots away down the backstretch. Kevin Thomas Jr. now puts a pair of car links on national points leader. Brady Bacon, KT, and Bacon battling for that 6th spot off of turn number 4.
And he loves it up there. He has almost caught up to Brady Bacon. Bacon comes across to see the white flag in the 6th position, but your race leader, Tyler Courtney, not far behind. Courtney started this race on the pole position. He has been perfect. He's led 29 laps. He's got half a lap left to go. He's working his way through 3. He's going to chase, and he's going to lock up his 5th straight win with the AMSOIL National Sprint Cars here at Eldora. Sunshine wins it. Let's Race 2. Night number 1 goes to Tyler Courtney.
1,056 days. That's how long it had been since Robert Ballou last experienced the thrill of a USAC National Sprint Car victory, entering Saturday's Let's Race 2 nightcap at Eldora. 30 laps. That's how long it took the Rockland, California native to return to the USAC win column for the first time in nearly 3 full years, in one of the most memorable duels of the entire season, to do what nobody had done in that same time frame: beat Tyler Courtney at Eldora.
Boy, Chris Windham really made a go of it on the inside right there in turn 2. Slid up, looked like it was going to pinch the Madman into a tight spot, but man, Robert Ballou never says die. Got right back on the gas and drove around the high side. He leads. Sunshine up high. Thorson down low. Justin Grant keeping it easy right there in the middle. And there's Steven Dravicki in the 19S. He wants to get dancy with him. He got a little slick right there through 1. Slides up right in front of Tanner Thorson. That kills both of their momentum. That allows Justin Grant, championship point leader Brady Bacon, to walk around the high side. Meanwhile, now Tyler Courtney, Sunshine, going to work on Paul Nienizer down in 1 and 2. That's the fight for 3rd. Courtney slides up. Nienizer tries to cross him over, but Courtney is able to show him the tail tank, as it looks like they're going to have the 1H of Corbin Hazlett to deal with. That's going to be the next car to go a lap down. Windham makes quick work down on the inside, slides up. Tyler Courtney decides to stay up top. You know, you think Tyler Courtney would be slowed down with all that extra cash in his pockets, but it does not seem to have an effect on him here. He slides up for 2nd in front of his buddy Chris Windham. Windham wants to battle back down on the inside, but they're going to run into slower traffic. And Courtney is going to solidly now pick up the 2nd position. Move Sunshine to P2. 4 laps to go. This time by Tyler Courtney, chasing his 6th straight win here at the Big E. Courtney looks to the inside. He's going to have lap traffic. Ballou stays in the throttle up top. He drives right around the outside. Robert Ballou stays in the throttle, and he'll stay in the lead. 3 to go this time by. They work off of 3 and 4. Tyler Courtney certainly has the speed, but does he have the courage? Robert Ballou commits to the top. Courtney's going to slide up, and again Ballou stays in the throttle. He will not be denied here at Eldora. Courtney chasing his 6th straight win. Robert Ballou, his 1st of the 2021 season. They make contact. They both bounce off each other. Courtney to the inside, Ballou to the high side. They come down to C2. Laps to go. Ballou gets a little sideways, bounces off the cushion, maybe even taps the wall. Tyler Courtney racing for the lead. Robert Ballou racing for his life. The way the Madman is driving now. This is it. White flag in the air. Mono e mono. It's all going to come down to this. Sunshine in the 7BC. Ballou in the number 12. Who wants it more? They work through turn 2. Down the back straightaway. Robert Ballou works through 3. He's got Sunshine behind him. Courtney is close, but he's not going to be close enough. Courtney's reign of dominance ends at Eldora, and Robert Ballou secures his first win of the 2021 season.
In the 51-year history of the Tony Holman Classic, only a select few drivers have won the race on 3 occasions. Kerry Foss, Levi Jones, and now Chris Windham, who snagged his 3rd career rifle in 2nd straight following a spirited duel at the Terre Haute Action Track.
Yes, Kyle Cummins draws even as they head into 3. Cummins up to P2, Ray back to 3rd, and then Matt Goodnight getting involved in that race up there as well. Riley Kreisel runs 4th. Brady Bacon up to 8th place. He's fighting with CJ Leary. There you see the battle on your screen if you're back home on flow. Leary slides wide on the exit of 2. Bacon drives right underneath him. Move Brady Bacon now up to the 7th position as he gets around the 77M of CJ Leary.
Meanwhile, Justin Grant looking awfully strong.
Chris Windham sets sail down in turn number 1 on Davey Ray. Wyndham's going to slide him big time here. Ray wants to try to cross him back over, but Windham just has too good of drive on corner exit. He is going to go from the 4th now to the 3rd position, move Davey Ray back a spot.
That was a decisive move.
And Kevin Thomas Jr., Pat, has to be careful because he is quickly reeling in the number 91 of Riley Kreisel. Chris Windham goes underneath Kyle Cummins. Cummins tries to battle back, but Windham can put that car anywhere he needs to. How about it as we near the halfway point? You love NOS Energy Drink, Pat? How about a double shot of NOS Energy Drink as Big Daddy Chris Windham takes a big shot at Justin Grant down in 1 and 2. It will not stick. Grant stays alive, but if you take a look at the lap times, Windham is right there on pace with JG Justin Grant. The fight for the lead is between a pair of NOS Energy cars. Windham, a series champion. Brady Bacon, the defending series champion, takes a look down on the inside of Kyle Cummins in 3, but Cummins had him covered. Brady Bacon could not make something happen. Trouble for the leaders almost nearly as Grant gets slid up in turn 1. Windham has trouble. Wyndham's going to bounce off the cushion, maybe the wall. That's going to hurt him. Going to see 4 to go next time by when the leaders get back to us. They'll see 4 laps remaining in this one. Justin Grant trying to keep fellow NOS Energy Drink driver Chris Windham, Big Daddy right behind him. Chris Windham takes a big look down in 1. Contact is made. Grant comes out on the short end. Grant runs up in the fluff, but he keeps his foot in it. He falls back to 2nd, and you know he's going back after Windham.
Oh, this is full contact racing now.
Chris Windham has done lots of work to get his way up here to lead. Justin Grant was perfect, leading from the pole position at the start of this race. Wesson just kept sawing away, chopping wood. He finally caught Grant. He threw a haymaker. Contact was made. There's not going to be enough time. Chris Windham makes his way out of the final corner. Big wreck down in turn 4. Red flag waves before the checkered can come out. Huge flip down in 4. As that's going to be the 22 of Chase Johnson. Windham brings him down nice and slowly. Tom Hansing shows him the green flag. 2 laps to settle it here at Terre Haute.
Meanwhile, Brady Bacon's going to make a strong move to the bottom. Look at Bacon turning the dirt on the low side.
Man, Windham got a phenomenal start. Justin Grant did not. He slides up, loses 2nd, loses 3rd. You have to wonder if there might be damage to that number 4. Grant goes right back to work on the inside of KTJ. White flag waves. Wyndham's got nobody behind him for quite a while.
And somehow, someway, Bacon may get back on the podium.
Bacon doing everything he can here as cars are fanning out. 2, 3 wide through 1 and 2. Everybody survives. Chris Windham hasn't led a lot, but he's going to lead when he matters. Out of turn number 4. Checkered flag waves. 3 Holman Classics belong to Chris Windham.
Every victory holds significance for a racer. From time to time, there's something that makes a win even a little more special. That was the case for Justin Grant in the USAC Eastern Storm opener at Grandview as he surpassed his father-in-law on the all-time win list, the late great National Sprint Car Hall of Famer, Bubby Jones.
But do not count out the local driver, Alex Bright, as he carries a ton of speed right down around the bottom. 1 lap into this one, 39 to go. Flag waves. Grant brings us back to racing with 28 laps to go. Field, those front 6, 7, 8 all have a great start. Bright does not get away as cleanly as he would like. Tanner Thorson sees the open door and walks on through. Tanner Thorson brings Brady Bacon with him. Now, move the Macho Man from 4th up to 3rd. At reeling in, Grant, little by little. The lead now down to just over 0.3 of a second. Good three-way battle up at the front, a three-headed monster, you could say. Thorson dives in deep on the bottom of 3, but Grant's got it as they exit 4. This track has 2 very distinctive ends. Some drivers are very, very good in 1 and 2. Some drivers are very, very good in 3 and 4. Tanner Thorson seems to be very, very good, especially on corner entry into turn number 3. 20 down, 20, 18 laps this time by. Tanner Thorson trying to work the high side. Grant looks good through the middle. Brady Bacon in 3rd. Thorson gets a good run out of 2. He's looked so good on the entry into 3. He's been looking down on the bottom, but this time he pitches it up to the top. He pulls up as close as you can get to the number 4 of Justin Grant. Thorson trying to make anything happen here. But Grant able to stretch out just a little bit of a lead from 2 down the back straightaway. Brady Bacon sits right there in 3rd. Then the battle Jeff was talking about. Alex Bright in 4th. Briggs Danner in P5. Kevin Thomas Jr., he reels right up on the back of those 2 guys. Danner has a moment over in 2. That opens the door for Kevin Thomas Jr. KT watching, waiting, seeing what Grant decides to do. Nash Ely will be the first car that Grant has to contend with. Races can be won and races can be lost in traffic. P2 for Brady Bacon around the outside of Tanner Thorson. 4 laps left in this one. Grant now has caught Nash Ely. Treacherous moments here. Grant does a good job negotiating Ely. Ely has to get out of the throttle. Brady Bacon and Tanner Thorson fly on by. 3 laps when Grant gets back to it. The next car he'll see is the 28 of Brandon Maddox. He's opened his lead up to 0.6 of a second over Brady Bacon. Bacon driving as hard as he possibly can. He's got 4 in a row here at Grandview Speedway. And he'll be darned if he misses out on race number 5. Grant having issues getting around Maddox. There he goes. He's able to clear the number 28, but Brady Bacon is almost there. I'm not going to say he's caught him, but boy, is he close. He hasn't caught him yet, and he doesn't have a lot of time to do it. The white flag waves. 39 laps down. 1 to go here at Grandview. The thrill on the hill in Bechtelsville has lived up to its name. Justin Grant into 3, out of 4. He's going to come out of the last corner. He wins and keeps making from 5 straight at Grandview.
Robert Ballou's first career victory in the state of New Jersey during the 2015 USAC National Sprint Car season led him to an Eastern Storm title and ultimately a USAC National title later that year. Round 2 of the 2021 edition of Eastern Storm served as sort of a crystal ball, foreshadowing how the week would unfold during the series debut on the new 4/10 mile at Bridgeport Motorsports Park.
But Shane Cottle turns back down around the inside. Cottle takes over the top spot once again, side by side for a moment through turns 1 and 2. Shane Cottle leads him down the back straightaway. Briggs Danner taking no prisoners here tonight. He wants a USAC AMSOIL Nash. Boy, getting there. He's done a good job of that. Now what's he going to do now that he's got Ballou right in front of him? Justin Grant all by himself in 7th. Buckwalter in 8th. Good fight. Buckwalter in 7th. Good battle for the 8th spot between Tanner Thorson and Brady Bacon. As that's starting to pick up a little bit of tempo. And then Timmy Buckwalter is going to back himself right into this good fight right here. Fighting as they come out of 3 and 4. Briggs Danner and Robert Ballou, because Shane Cottle is driving away. That's the fight for 2nd. Ballou has gotten around Briggs Danner, but Danner wants to try and get the spot back away from the 2015 Eastern Storm champion. Oh, this is good stuff right here as we near the halfway point this one. They'll see Seavey on the exit of turn number 4. Justin Grant takes the number 4 into the 5th position. CJ Leary doing everything he can to battle back. That's a good race, but a better one is the one for the lead. They come out of 4, down the front straightaway. The throttle sees the crossed flags as the leader, but will he see the white flag as the leader? That's a long way to go, and Robert Ballou wants to change things up at the front of the leaderboard. Robert Ballou has stalked and run down Shane Cottle. Boy, this is some impressive driving by Robert Ballou. He got out, had plenty to say after that heat race, but he's doing plenty of driving right here, right now. We near 10 laps to go. Robert Ballou pulls along down to the inside, down the back straightaway. The throttle's not going to just give it up, so Ballou has to take it from him. Robert Ballou out front. Cottle has a good line down on the inside throw through turn number 1. Can he stay even with the Madman? For a moment he does, but Ballou puts his foot in it. He's now out in front by a few car lengths. Robert Ballou now commands night number 2 of Eastern Storm. 12 laps at the line. Boy, Robert Ballou just stayed back there. Watch. Of JG, Justin Grant in 6th, Leary, Buckwalter, Dravicki, and KTJ, the top 10. They've been clean and green this whole way. White flag wave. Robert Ballou, less than a lap away from his second victory of the 2021 USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car Championship season. Visibility is not going to be an issue for the Madman as he wins here at Bridgeport.
The waiting is the hardest part. In 50 years after USAC National Sprint Cars last appeared at Lawrenceburg Speedway, the wait was finally over. Interestingly, it was Grant who initiated the drive to bring USAC sprint car racing back to Selinsgrove following a half-century absence. A couple years later, Grant initiated a drive back to Victory Lane for Eastern Storm win number 2.
Into the 3rd position, CJ Leary works way down low. Kevin Thomas Jr. lets the 9K work a little bit wider on corner exit out of 4. 1 lap down, KT using that pole position to lead here early on. Speed up top here as they come out at turn number 4. KT still solidly out in front. Kevin Thomas Jr. now has a wind visor full of Chris Windham. Windham slides him down through 1 and 2, but KT hangs a hard left, gets back on the loud pedal. He drives to the inside of Windham. Now they've swapped lanes. Windham up top. KTJ works down low, and Briggs Danner continues to bounce it off the high side over in 3 and 4. Windham, your new leader. KT tries to battle back down in 1 and 2, but he's going to run more of a Chris Windham-esque line through those first 2 corners. As we near the halfway point, all this racing back and forth has slowed KT up. That allows Justin Grant to know that they're going to race each other hard for a lot more years to come. Well, tonight we're getting to see another version of it. Grant sends it deep around the top side in 3 and 4. He's going to try and walk the dog around Windham, and that's exactly what he does. JG to the lead with 6 to go. Chris Windham slots into 2nd, but don't look now. Here comes the Madman, Robert Ballou. He was pretty happy last night, but he's driving angry right now. He's in 3rd. Now he's up to 2nd. He sends it in deep on Big Daddy. They touch. There's contact. Ballou and Windham get together, but Ballou gets it going. He's into 2nd position. Is left to play offense against Kevin Thomas Jr. 3 laps left, and Ballou has seen that gap grow from 1.5 to 2.2 seconds. Justin Grant is not playing games. He is here to win races. They make the way down the back straightaway. 28 laps complete. 2 to go. This time by. Close battle on the track is the one for 3rd because there ain't no battle up at the front. KT pushes up on the exit of 4. That opens the door for CJ Leary. He decides to step on through to the other side. Move Leary now into the 3rd position. Kevin Thomas Jr. tries to battle right back down low, but Leary able to roll the speed on the high side. The white flag waves. We keep an eye on this battle because Robert Ballou continues to lose sight of JG. Justin Grant sees the white flag out in front for the 2nd time in 3 nights here in Eastern Storm competition. He was victorious at Grandview Speedway. He was fast at Bridgeport last night, and he is going to do it again. His 2nd win in 3 nights here in Eastern Storm. Selinsgrove belongs to Justin Grant.
Just 6 days following his 30th birthday, Kevin Thomas Jr. celebrated another milestone 30th in the Eastern Storm finale by capturing his 30th career USAC National Sprint Car feature at the brand new Bloomsburg Fair Raceway. And while Thomas took top honors for the night, the week belonged to Robert Ballou, who eked out a 2nd career Eastern Storm championship by a single position and a solitary point with a 6th place result.
Bloomsburg Fair. Kevin Thomas Jr., he's not trying to race him, he's trying to lead him. KTJ brings the field down to complete the opening lap. One clean and green, 29 left to go. And you talk about an Eastern storm. Boy, we've got a storm. 10th on back in this field. Kevin Thomas Jr. works the lead here. Behind him in second position, Briggs Danner and Jake Swanson have a good go of it. Moves Swanson now up into the second position. Briggs Danner back to third. Brady Bacon sees an opening. He steps on through. Move Bacon now up to the third, towards the midway point of this 30-lap affair to conclude Eastern Storm 2021. Kevin Thomas Jr. continues to work on Grant. Second place, Jake Swanson, waiting for Swanson to get across the start-finish line. There he goes. Now Brady Bacon makes a fight down to the inside. Bacon continues to work. He's trying to can opener his way around Jake Swanson. Well, he's found a way. Now is he able to complete the job? Up into turn number 3. Brady Bacon's Bright Orange Dynamics Incorporated 69 comes through the cloud. He's into the second position. Move Jake Swanson back to third. And that's going to move Tanner Thorson, or maintain down to the inside of Robert Ballou, but Ballou able to make the middle work on his exit right up in front of them. Tanner Thorson trying to get around Jake Swanson. Those two battled fiercely at Grandview Speedway. Thorson looks high, now he looks low. Move Tanner Thorson into the third position. Inside of 10 laps this time by. A little bit of trouble, one slow car coming down the front straightaway. He'll turn in. We stay clean, we stay green. 9 laps to go. Kevin Thomas, Shane Cuttle behind him. 8 laps left this time. Robert Ballou pushes up out of turn number 4. That allows Alex Bright a pretty big door to walk on through. But you know Robert Ballou's not going to give up. The Madman stays in the gas out of turn number 2. But Alex Bright has too much momentum. But Ballou's going to try and cross him right back over here out of 4. No! Alex Bright able to hold on to the spot. Wow, Alex Bright now moves into the 5th position here. That might just be in Robert Ballou's favor. Tanner Thorson looked high on entry, turns the wheel down to the left, draws almost even with Bacon, says hi, then says bye. Tanner Thorson up into second, but he slides wide, bounces off the wall. They stay even down the back straightaway. Thorson says it ain't no thing. He stays up in second. 2 to go at the line. Justin Grant slow down the front straightaway into turn number 1. He'll pull off the racetrack. They're going to see the sticks. They've seen the sticks. White flag will wave from Warren Alston. Can Kevin Thomas Jr. stay out in front for one more lap? He picks up the white flag. On at Ocala to kick off the 2021 season. He won on the high banks of Bloomington. He leads them down the back straightaway, and as he comes off a 3 and 4, Kevin Thomas Jr. wins race number 3 and the first ever show here at the Bloomsburg Fair Raceway.
On occasion, the backup plan ultimately becomes the master plan. A bad vibration and a broken U-joint forced driver CJ Leary and his Michael Motorsports team to pull down the spare car from the trailer. The team stuck with the quote-unquote backup car and engine for the series round at Plymouth, where Plan B came to fruition.
To work on the inside of Paul Nienheiser, Thorson up to second.
Now Tanner Thorson shows his serious. Jake Swanson behind him. Now Jake goes to the outside.
Good side-by-side action right here as we work lap number 2. CJ Leary's loving it. Tanner Thorson tries to pull the same move he did on Nienheiser over in 3 and 4. Nienheiser tries to gather him back up and get going. He's not able to. Here comes Justin Grant. Car number 4 up to position number 4. He'll set his sights on Nienheiser. Down the back straightaway. Grant door-to-door with Nienheiser.
Kevin Thomas Jr. working hard on that Dr. Pepper number 9 as well. Working the outside, or inside, excuse me. Dr. Pepper number 9 looks like it's fast tonight.
Him in, but just as Grant bobbles off of turn number 2, that allows Kevin Thomas Jr., who has just been chugging along down on the inside, to continue to try to horn his way in. This is good stuff as they've reeled in lap traffic here. Grant trying to go high. Thorson moves down to the bottom to cover KTJ. It's about to get 3 wide here for second.
And Kevin Thomas went even lower. Got underneath Thorson, will try to diamond him off right there. But at the line, it's KTJ.
Crossed flags in this one, 15 down, 15 to go. There, we've seen him have a big strung out lead right after the start of this one. The green flag is flown. We've been green for 20 laps, but C.J. Leary now has Kevin Thomas Jr., I'd call it about 10 car lengths, maybe a little bit less behind him. And this is just really impressive considering the amount of traffic. And KTJ and Grant are still reeling Leary in.
Yeah, and here is Leary. You see, we look at him. He'll get a little bit of traffic. There's the battles behind, as documented right there on your screen. Kevin Thomas Jr. trying to move forward and also hold that position.
Inside at 10 laps to go now. They'll see 7 laps when C.J. Leary gets back to the start-finish line. The race leader working the high side through 3 and 4. Justin Grant, Kevin Thomas Jr. not giving it up, not yet. Justin Grant gets around KTJ. He's into second, but for how long? KTJ still looks good on the bottom.
Boy, that
needs to pick his spot if he's going to try and make something happen.
Yeah, he may have one shot and one shot only. That's Cole Bodine in front of your leaders, and Grant is right there. He can smell this one. He's won here before.
They've done lots of work to Plymouth Speedway since the series was here 1 year ago. The racing has improved greatly. A multi-lane racetrack has developed. White flag waving at the starter stand. We're going to see what they've got here. Grant trying to reel in Leary as they come down the back straightaway.
Leary's just got to hit his marks and he should get it done. And C.J. Leary, who woke up in the middle of the night thinking about the Plymouth Raceway dirt, he thought right, and he gets into victory lane.
Victories throughout C.J. Leary's career have seemingly arrived in bunches. In fact, more than half of his USAC National Sprint Car feature triumphs have come in succession. The opener of the Bill Gardner Sprintacular at Lincoln Park Speedway was no exception after starting 11th in the 23-car field.
Lots of action further back in the pack, but we're okay for now, as Chris Wyndham gave a moment's thought to going right down the middle on that first turn and now settles up on the high side. Jake Swanson want to let Brady know where he's at until he can make a decisive move. Brady continues to go down to the bottom in turns 1 and 2, while Jake continues to run high.
C.J. Leary, Pat, who started 11th.
Right.
C.J. Leary, the car on the move, hit around his fathead 69. He's right in the line that I won. Lap cars have made it so he couldn't pull a slide job, Pat, because they're on the inside of the track.
Second at Big Diamond, that's been his high water mark this year.
Wyndham runs third. Leary's just behind him. Kevin Thomas Jr. is on the inside. How many times in recent years have we said that? And this time, Swanson's got to run on the outside. For the first time, Swanson
now
on
he goes
number
low.
4. There he goes, Pat, to the inside. Leans on him going into turn 1. Jake Swanson out in front here at Lincoln Park Speedway.
Now Jake Swanson's got to go through traffic. He's the one who's got to get it done now. Now the pressure's on the Anaheim, California driver. And here comes Broken Arrow, Oklahoma's Brady Bacon.
Car of Carson Garrett.
Oh, he had to just hesitate a moment.
Tap the brakes for just a second, and that's going to make it so he's there. He does.
There he goes.
Now he's got clean track, a full straightaway of clean track. With
trying to go back to back, and CJ's put the spurs to it.
Went to a backup car on the final night of the Eastern Tour. Like the feel of it. He's got the Ford power car. He's going to try the slider going down into turn 3 and 4. He'll slide up in front of Jake Swanson. Swanson will take him back on the inside.
Oh, this is mono action here. A former national champion, a former outstanding West Coast driver, transplanted to the Midwest, and they are going at it hammer and tongs.
That time doesn't work at the line. It's still Swanson by .1. We got a red flag. Red flag over in turn number 2. That's the Swanson brings it off in turn number 1. That's a good start. Puts a couple car lengths behind him, but we know it's 3 and 4. But the move's going to come. Brady Bacon tries to put the car back in the. Oh, here comes Pat.
Boy, C.J. Leary looks quick, doesn't he?
He's going to try it again. Swanson says, go by. I'm going to get you back in the line for the 3rd time. They've slid each other, and Swanson gets in the line.
Hold your breath. Hold your breath.
A bobble right there. Put C.J. Leary out in front. Swanson will drag racing down into turn number 3.
White flag is out right here. It's not over. This is going to be a photo finish.
I can hear in the interview right now, you just didn't want to be the leader on the last lap.
A little bubble there for Leary, but not enough to unseat him. CJ dives into turn 3, into 4. Here's the drag race. CJ Leary.
sprint car
On the
race
two
coming
prior
to ya.
occasions this
It's
season
time
in
to
which
Cowboy
Kevin Thomas
up
Jr.
here
began his
at
feature
Lincoln
from the
Park
back half of the field, the final result was about as satisfying as a room temperature soda on a hot summer day. However, after starting 14th, KTJ began his rapid ascent through the field, resulting in the biggest charge by a winning driver in the series this season, while also garnering a hefty payday and a personal best performance in his career.
Speaking of moving out of the way, Brady Bacon is ready to move the 4 out of the way here in the battle for the lead.
Brady Bacon searching through the track in turns 1 and 2, goes a little bit lower on corner entry that time, tries to find if maybe the middle could work a little bit better for him, but this time he stays right in race leader Justin Grant's tire tracks as they roll to the top side of 3 and 4, but Bacon seems to like the middle right here, Brad. He likes it so much, he pulls right up next to Justin Grant. They're wheel to wheel for the race lead. Brady Bacon says hi, now he says bye. New race leader, Grant tries to cross him back over, Grant to the inside in 1.
What a battle there for the lead. It is Brady Bacon out in front. Justin Grant holds the 2nd spot now. So a flop of positions as we're 15 laps in with 25 to go, and Justin Grant is going to have a run off at turn 4. They touch coming out of 4.
Getting so close right when it matters the most for the battle at the front. Brady Bacon starts to try to focus on pulling away from Justin Swanson now up into the 5th position. CJ Leary works the high side. He gives way to Kevin Thomas Jr. KTJ 3rd in the national championship point standings. He's 3rd on track right now. He runs after Justin Grant, but Grant goes downstairs on Bacon. Grant's going to try and pull the slider. Bacon wants to cross him back over. They're wheel to wheel at the line for the lead.
Just gotta love the racing action here at Lincoln Park Speedway. Justin Grant threw that slider and about halfway down the backstretch, he finds himself out in front. Brady Bacon, Kevin Thomas Jr., those 3 are in the hunt. This is good stuff.
Good stuff indeed. 1 lap past the halfway point here on the 40-lapper, night number 2 of the Bill Gardner Sprint-tacular. Justin Grant out in front, and it is on. Right behind him, heck, right besides him, as Kevin Thomas Jr. gets around national championship point leader Brady Bacon. Brady Bacon wants to make a go of it down on the inside of 1. He can't get the 6 junior, works the inside. Justin Grant works the outside, and all this is doing, Brad, is allowing Brady Bacon, Riley Kreisel, CJ Leary to reel in and join this fight for the lead.
Turn number 2 has been Justin Grant's nemesis. That's where he's had his biggest bobbles. Down there, he's so quick through 3 and 4. We'll see what happens again this time. Kevin Thomas Jr. is going to try to set him up. Grant that time comes off. They're almost even up as they come out of the corner. They are not separated at all.
No, KTJ can make that car take off out of the bottom so well, but then Justin Grant is able to keep his foot in the throttle and rip around the high side just a little bit longer than Kevin Thomas Jr. can. KTJ gets to that corner so much quicker.
Stop where it's going to be. Let's see if Grant in this final lap, right there, bobble for Kevin Thomas Jr.
Kevin Thomas Jr. gets just a tick tight down on the inside. That car over-rotates on him on the exit of turn number 4, but he's done a good enough job through this entire 40-lap race that he is making his way out of the final 2 corners. Kevin Thomas Jr. gets win number 4, barely holding off Justin Grant.
Justin Grant had never experienced a victory quite like he did in the Indiana Sprint Week opener at Kokomo. As it turned out, it paid more money per lap than any race he's ever won in his career. Just 2 nights after scoring a 100-lap long-distance USAC Silver Crown race, Grant reigned triumphant in one of the shortest feature events in the 66-year history of the USAC National Sprint Car Series, under threatening skies, which was ultimately halted with 18 of 30 laps complete.
Lap number 1, race's quickest pace being set as they pick up the speed here. CJ Leary continues to work down low. Justin Grant's going to show him the tail tank in 2nd.
Lightning lights up the sky. Thomas is advantage of the line over JD, 1.4 seconds. No time to mess around ever in a 30-lap feature, but these guys definitely on the hammer here. Torrid pace early in this one.
Good stuff right here. Kyle Cummins has caught up to CJ Leary. Cummins works down low through 3 out of 4. They're side by side. Leary's going to get the advantage that time, but wow, Rob, Kyle Cummins in that 3R has gotten around. Big ride down the front straightaway. One's upside down.
That's Brandon Maddox. We're red right here at the start-finish line. So hard ride for the veteran out of Terre Haute. Safety right on the scene here as we caught the tail end of that one just in our view. So safety right there for the driver of the 28. And anytime you knock the tail tank off it is a dandy of a ride. So looks like they're going to flip that over. That usually indicates to me that is probably some good news.
Man, Brandon Maddox, I don't want to start a flip count for him here in 2021, Rob, but he's had just a really, really tough 2021, and it gets tough down there for the safety crews as they've got a little oil fire on those headers.
And he's out of the car, race fans. That is great to see. As we suspected, Brandon Maddox okay, and a tip of the hat to Lawrenceburg safety. They were right on that little oil fire, as you mentioned, Jason, and we were red here. Here we go. We're going to go green this time off of 4.
Justin Grant takes a big look down to the inside in turn number 1. He's going to kick a little bit of that Kokomo clay right up in front of Kevin Thomas Jr. But KTJ says, ain't no thing. Goes right back to work on the inside of turns 3. And when he gets to the outside of 4, he's your leader. He shows the door to Justin Grant. 22 laps to go. Next time by. Good stuff up the front. Justin Grant colored out all the Dr. Pepper logos on Kevin Thomas Jr.'s car on Twitter. Well, KTJ's making sure he gets a good view of them here.
Oh, the veterans now starting to shine. That usually happens here at the Kokomo Speedways. We've got hitters battling for the top spot. Now Brady Bacon's going to go the inside of Cummins. Here comes Big Daddy. Here comes Tanner Thorson. We got a barn burner coming.
Justin Grant takes over the top spot here. They will see 10 laps complete, 20 to go this time by. What about this fight right here? There you see Grant. He rolls up on Brady Short, one of the first lappers he's going to get to.
And we're yellow, Tony, yellow here on the Speedway as Mother Nature has opened up the skies, so we'll see what is going to transpire here. We are 18 laps complete. You can see for those watching on Flow. And Mother Nature.
Justin Grant scored as your winner. Brady Bacon comes home in second. KTJ, Kevin Thomas Jr., will stand on the rain-soaked podium.
1 month earlier, the Indiana Midget Week round at Lawrenceburg came to be known as Logan Seavey Night, as he swept both the USAC Midget and accompanying local sprint car A-Main on the very same night. As it just so happened, that marvelous showing in the spring was just a prelude to an unforgettable midsummer encore performance at the Berg to become the 3rd driver to win an Indiana Sprint Week and Indiana Midget Week feature at the same track in a single season.
Tanner Thorson answers right back with a power move down to the inside. He slides up the track. Jake Swanson stays at home. Thorson has to save it and correct. He now opens the door to Logan Seavey. The 20 of Tyler Kendall pulls up
as he encounters lap traffic.
Yeah, exactly. Jake Swanson in lap traffic, but it's Kevin Thomas Jr. who has picked up a position in the running order as he's gotten around Scotty Weir. So move KTJ from 6th up to 5th. Scotty Weir now has to deal with Robert Ballou. That's a race we've seen going for a little while now. Halfway home in this one, 15 down, 15 to go. And boy, Jake Swanson is just moving through lap traffic very quickly right now, Chad.
Yeah, threading the needle inside, outside. He is doing a whale of a job, but right now his lead is shrinking. His lead is shrinking. It looks like he's trying to put Stockton a lap down. Is that the 5 of Stockton?
Yes, it is.
And Swanson looks to the inside, but here comes Thorson and Seavey right on the tail tank of Swanson.
Tanner Thorson is there. He looks to the inside of Jake Swanson. Swanson gets held up by lap traffic. Thorson slides up the track in 2, but he has taken over the race lead. Tanner Thorson now out in front. Jake Swanson is not going to give it up without a whale of a fight. Swanson draws even with Thorson down the front straightaway. Swanson goes all the way to the bottom of turn number 1. Moves Swanson back to the race lead. Logan Seavey now enters the chat as Tanner Thorson works to the inside in 3. They get so close, but it's going to be Swanson leading another lap.
Oh boy, scary, scary stuff there in turn 4, but they made it all work. Thorson threw a haymaker on Swanson. He couldn't complete the pass. They're still chasing some of the back hip here. Back into turn number 1 and 2 they go. Swanson a little bit sideways off of turn number 2. Here goes Seavey to the inside.
Jake Swanson opens the door. Logan Seavey walks right on through. Jake Swanson recovers quickly. He's going to go right after the new race leader, Logan Seavey from Sutter, California, now has control of this race. And Chad, you talked about it. The last time USAC was here at the Lawrenceburg Speedway was for Midget Week. Logan Seavey won that midget feature. He also won the weekly Lawrenceburg 410 non-wing sprint car feature. Sevo, the white flag will wave. This time by Chief Starter Tom Hansing lets Logan Seavey know he is 1 lap away from the victory here on night number 2 of NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week by AMSOIL. Jake Swanson dominating this one for so long, but a small mistake opened the door, and Logan Seavey has made the absolute most out of it. We have a red flag, 1 car upside down, over in turn number 2. And don't write the name on the check just yet. This one is not over. Jaden Rogers, the driver in the number 14, tosses his steering wheel out. Who will win in Lawrenceburg? Stay tuned and find out. Seavey works the top side. Thorson throws a haymaker on Jake Swanson. Swanson jumps on the brakes, turns left, gets back right around for second position. Chad White Flag's going to wave here as Seavey has been so good in these last 8 to 10 laps. He brings them underneath the starter stand to see the white flag. He won here in the midget. Then that same night, he won in the 410 non-wing sprint cars. He's going to work him out of 3 through 4. Night number 2 of Indiana Sprint Week belongs to Logan Seavey. Jake Swanson.
On a rare Monday night appearance, Logan Seavey grabbing the headlines has become the least rare of occurrences. The Sutter, California racer went back-to-back on multiple levels, not only repeating his Gas City, Indiana Sprint Week feature win from a year ago, but also capturing his second victory in the series within a 24-hour span on a giddy-up style racetrack, which had been hammered by rain throughout the weekend.
Bike over him, a bottom of turn number 1. He's on the bike in the middle of turns 3 and 4, but somehow he keeps the number 12 pointing in the right direction. Meanwhile, up front, it's last night's race winner, Logan Seavey, going around the outside. He will lead another lap here on him. He's gotten around Ty Mahako in the 47 trouble. Up front, that looks like the 2 of Team S, Thomas Meserol. Jack Yaley's car pulls off the back straightaway. Jake Swanson bucking around through the middle of 3 and 4. That's going to allow Brady Bacon to all but pass him as they race for second.
So Bacon will put a move on the 21 AZs. They'll battle for the second spot. They come off of turn number 4, your leader already in the center of 1 and 2. As we work 10 down, 20 to go, your leader, Seavey, now is going to have to start working lap traffic. And here comes the Macho Man. He'll clear the 21. He'll go to second.
That moves Brady Bacon up into that second spot, but it is still a straightaway deficit between Logan Seavey, who's gotten around lap traffic, 1 car around over. This thing went green. Brady Bacon gets a really good run out of corner number 2. He's going to try and lasso that number 5 and go along for the ride.
We'll see if Macho Man can hang with the driver out of Southern California. And Seavey continues to look good here. Great battle third on back. Has a ton of character in the racetrack here tonight, to say the least. It's old school night. It's ruts and guts on a Monday night in Gas City.
Wow, Tanner Thorson caught that last tractor tire down on the inside. He pulled a big wheel stand as he came out of turn number 4. Jake Swanson has that 3rd position. Ty Mahako having a great run right here. He's in 4th. Kyle Cummins tries to split aces right down the middle because he's got Tanner Thorson to his inside. Cummins washes out. That's going to let Thorson pick up the 4th position. Seavey trying to do everything he can to not get held up here, Rob, because Brady Bacon is closing in.
If Bacon's going to make his move, it's going to be with the help of some lap traffic here. Trying to get past Maddox. Your leader will clear him. He clears Pretorius. But here comes the Macho Man. Great run through the center of 1 and 2. Within 2 car lengths, he can see the back of the ball with number 5.
7 laps to go right there at the start-finish line. Logan Seavey trying to go back-to-back in NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week by AMSOIL competition, but Brady Bacon is closer than anybody's been all night long. 6 to go at the line. Bacon getting closer and closer. Seavey takes him back down into turn number 1.
Seavey trying to be perfect on a very technical racetrack. The Macho Man still 2 car lengths. Seavey will take the ball at number 5, trying to go 2 for 2 this time. 5 fingers in the air, 5 to go.
Brady Bacon's lead right there, back from Logan Seavey, half of a second. That's the deficit between first place Logan Seavey and second place running Brady.
Per mile, it's all he's got left to do it, Tony.
Logan Seavey sees the white flag for the second time in as many nights as this race's leader. Down the back straightaway, thick in lap traffic, but Brady Bacon is not close enough. Logan Seavey is going to go back-to-back in Indiana Sprint Week. He wins here at Gas City I-69.
Logan Seavey entered the start of this past week with just 2 career USAC National Sprint Car feature wins in a span of 50 starts. In his 3 most recent starts, he surpassed his entire win output throughout his first 3 seasons with his 3rd consecutive victory. The 3rd win of Seavey's personal hat trick was special in a myriad of manners, but most of all, it came at Terre Haute. The win at this place is something special, something memorable, something remarkable. Seavey was all of those things and more during round 4 of Indiana Sprint Week.
Off a challenge for that second position from Justin Grant. Grant around the inside, move JG up to second.
Yeah, Justin Grant used that high-sided turn number 4, but we got lots of action on the bottom. Here's Big Daddy Chris Whittam trying to become an 8-time winner.
With CJ Leary on the outside, and it looks like Bilby's going to be able to get those spots back. He goes around the outside of CJ Leary and brings Brady Bacon, the Macho Man, along with him. So it's a 2-position swing on the backstretch. Red flag waves, one upside down heading to turn 3. That looks like Robert Ballou, his number 12, upside down.
51T also involved.
Oh, man, Eddie Tafoya Jr. in the Dorset Automotive. Don Smith Classic. Logan Seavey brings us back to the green flag. We're racing into turn number 1. Justin Grant throws a bomb down in turn number 1. Grant's going to slide up the track. Can he keep him covered? It looks like Seavey's going to get on his horse and ride. Seavey back down the inside into turn number 3.
Yeah, but he wants to protect that outside rail, and Justin Grant looks to track him right there. And this is a straight dogfight. Tanner Thorson is now going to roll up right on the tail tank of JG Justin Grant. Grant goes right down to the bottom guardrail. He's going to slide up the racetrack. That opens the door for the 19 AZ of Swanson. Swanson gets a good run out of 2, but Grant's going to keep him covered. Grant stays in second. A lot of racing still to go here. Stockton carries a lot of speed, though, around the outside. The fight for 4th wages on, but Wyndham uses that bottom to catapult himself into the 3rd spot. Grant is all but there. 4 laps to go. Logan Seavey's lead has shrunk to 0.3 of a second. Charles Davis down on the inside. Seavey's going to pass him with ease. Justin Grant does the same. They roll the top through 3 out of 4. 3 laps left in this one. Does Grant have enough to go and get Seavey? You better inch up a little bit in your seat, because this is going to be a Donnybrook to the finish. There goes Justin Grant. He's been good off of 2. Not as good off of turn number 3.
And that's exactly, Pat, why you see the lead go from 0.2 of a second to 0.8 of a second. Last time by, 2 laps left here. Tom Hansing shows him the sticks. Logan Seavey brings them down. The lead 0.6. Justin Grant, he's doing everything he can, Pat. Seavey bobbles for a moment right there in the middle of 2. He's able to stay out in front, but Grant closing quickly. White flag is in the air. 1 to go this time by.
This is the key right here. If Justin Grant can be within shouting distance, he's going to have a chance.
White flag waves from Tom Hansing. There's nothing left but how they want to work this last lap. It's up to just the 2 of them. Logan Seavey out in front by 0.6 of a second. He's on the verge of going 3 wins in a row here in NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week by AMSOIL. Seavey through 3 out of 4. He's done it. He's won 3 in a row here in Indiana Sprint Week.
Justin Grant runs in the 2nd position.
High heat, high emotion, and high intensity were the main ingredients of a dramatic ending between drivers Tanner Thorson and CJ Leary during round 5 of Indiana Sprint Week at Lincoln Park Speedway. Just as Seavey did at Lawrenceburg days earlier, Thorson followed his prior Indiana Midget Week win with an Indiana Sprint Week win later in the year. In the end, as with many situations in auto racing, one driver has an opinion on what went down, while the other may have the complete opposite view from their vantage point. This particular occasion was no exception.
Around the 9K of Kevin Thomas Jr., KTJ has 3rd. Seavey hangs a big left-hander. He's going to slot right in between Thorson and KT. Seavey works around the top. Oh, but he has a moment right there. Gets on the cushion. He's going to lose 2 spots.
Well, this has been known as the Thunder and Lightning division. We've got 1/2 of that equation as part of our backdrop tonight at Lincoln Park. But right now, 4 cars really vying for position up front.
Man, Leary did not get off a 2 the way he would like to at all, and that's what allows Tanner Thorson and Kevin Thomas Jr. to nearly make that race for the lead. A 4-car battle. Leary has a much better run through 2 that time. Moves CJ Leary to the race lead.
Yeah, keep an eye on Tanner Thorson. He looks awfully quick to me in that AME electrical car.
Tanner Thorson now works right around those infield tractor tires. Thorson gets a good run down the back straightaway. Thorson to the inside of Bodine. That's the race for 2nd. Thorson to the 2nd spot. Leary comes around. 5 laps left in this one. Trouble right in front of Leary, but he's able to avoid it. That's Bodine, Grant, and Maddox, and Leary's life just flashed before his eyes. Meanwhile, Tanner Thorson is in search of his 3rd. Green flag waves, 2 to go here at Lincoln Park. Thorson drives all the way down to the bottom. He'll slide up. Contact. Leary gets up over the cushion. Thorson brings him down the backstretch.
Man alive, what a bold move by Thorson. Now Leary's going to fight back the whites out. I don't think this is going to end right here.
No, I don't either, Pat. Thorson leads him through 1 and 2. Who's going to lead him out of 3 and 4? Leary's gotten around Chris Windham. Windham gets a good run after diamonding the corner. They head into the turns 3. They head out of turn 4. Tanner Thorson wins his 3rd race of 2021. He's heading for Thorson, and he's not happy. C.J. Leary pulls right up in front of the 19AZ.
Now at the amusement park, you learn that you just keep spinning the wheel and ultimately you go another direction. The car is rolling towards the photographers. It's still rolling.
And Leary makes his way right to Thorson's 19AZ. Thorson gets up, and they're having a discussion.
Oh, it's hot. It's Indiana Sprint Week. Tempers are flared. The car is still rolling.
The car's still rolling, but Tanner Thorson is your winner here tonight.
24 hours earlier, Brady Bacon and the Dynamics Incorporated crew experienced the lowest of lows when a magneto issue knocked the team out of the feature at Lincoln Park before the green flag had even been waved. 24 hours later, the team was standing in Bloomington Speedway's victory lane, celebrating its first series victory in more than 3 months following the Sheldon Kinzer Memorial, a win that was a special one indeed as he passed the race's namesake for 9th on the all-time USAC Sprint win list.
Down the back straightaway.
Man, Kyle Cummins had a really good run through turn number 2. C.J. Leary brings him right down to the bottom on corner entry. They'll skate up to the top side of the racetrack, and Kevin Thomas Jr. now trying to find his way into 3rd, but it's last night's winner, Tanner Thorson, rolling the top. Thorson and KTJ drag race into turn number 3. It's anybody's guess how they'll be when they come out of the 4th turn. C.J. Leary brings him down the back straightaway. Kyle Cummins knows that he's got to go because he's got Brady Bacon right alongside. Bacon tries to make it work right there through 3. Bacon is going to get the spot to 2nd.
Yeah, he's got the 2nd spot. Kyle Cummins is hanging tough. Now that's Bacon slotting in behind C.J. Leary.
Kyle Cummins wants to use what he just saw Brady Bacon, but use it right back on the Macho Man himself. Bacon, meanwhile, is more interested with racing C.J. Leary. Not too long here, folks, and we're going to be in the back of lap traffic. They head down the back straightaway. Bacon makes a big commitment down to the inside of the racetrack. Leary bounces off the curb on the top side. This just allows Bacon to get closer and closer still. They roll through 1, out of 2. Leary still out in front.
He's got to make the move before they get into traffic. That lane will not be available to Brady Bacon unless he can seal the deal quickly, and he may have done it right there.
You're exactly right, Pat. That bottom lane is going to go away as soon as they roll up on lap traffic. C.J. Leary able to keep the 77M wound up around the high side. Bacon did not have as good of a run through turn 2 that time by. They are now rolling up on Colbodine in lap traffic. This could work as a pick for C.J. Leary. That's exactly what it does. Bacon has to fall back in line.
Yeah, but Brady Bacon saw what was happening in traffic and made the adjustment. That's what makes him a national champion. Now he stays on the high side through turn 4.
Little ways to go until they roll up on the 61M. That's Brady short the next lap traffic. Oh, Leary off the back straightaway. He gets it gathered back up, but he's going to lose the race lead to Bacon.
Now Brady Bacon, the pressure finally there, and now Leary in a fight back position at the 77.
Oh, look here. What do we got? A little bit of Leary and Thorson side-by-side action. These are the 2 that battled on the restart last night with 2 to go. Thorson pulls up alongside down the back straightaway. Leary is going to make life as difficult as he can. Thorson rolls the bottom. They're 3 wide with lap traffic. Leary able to hold on to 3rd spot, but Thorson gets a good run on the bottom. Move Thorson onto the podium.
Yeah, Thorson does a masterful job of picking through traffic. Now he'll try to ride the rim and solidify that spot over Leary, but Leary has it at the line. A little bump.
Leary cuts Thorson off as they come out of 4 down the front straightaway, but Thorson gets him right back on the exit of turn number 2. We're inside of 10 laps remaining. Brady Bacon has this one under control. Kyle Cummins has C.J. Leary continuing to work on him for that 2nd position. Leary's been working on that low side. That's the fight for 2nd. Down the back straightaway, the Macho Man, Brady Bacon, goes back to his winning ways here in Bloomington. Bacon wins
wins night number 6 of Sprint Week.
It's a rare instance when both the first and second place finishers of a race can celebrate in unison for their own separate personal accomplishments. For Justin Grant and Kevin Thomas Jr., that was the scene following the Indiana Sprint Week finale at Tri-State Speedway. Both veteran racers cut their own slice of triumph, one as a race winner at a track that has been a longtime nemesis, and another who reached the zenith of his racing summer.
Lap number 1, Justin Grant moving up to that second spot after taking car number 4 from position number 4. Farther on back, it's a logjam, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Justin Grant around KT for the race lead here at the end of lap number 2. Grant looks stout early on in these 30 laps. Everybody gets away from the green flag cleanly. McDougal struggles on the exit of turn number 2. That allows Leary and Jaden Rogers both to get by on the entrance of the back straightaway. McDougal tries to come back with a vengeance around the high side of turn number 4, but now he's got his teammate from KO Motorsports, the white and green, number 5S, Chase Stockton. Stockton, so good here at Tri-State Speedway. That's the race for the 5th position. McDougal has it, and he's gotten around Jaden Rogers. So Rogers now slips back to 5th. Chase Stockton going to try and tie a rope around his teammate's tail tank. Stockton not able as he gets bound up right there with Jaden Rogers and the king of Hopstadt, Kyle Cummins, down around the inside. He's up to the 12th position after rolling off 13th. Grant with a little bit of trouble dealing with lap traffic. That's fellow Californian Chris Ganson. No worse for the wear, though. Justin keeps it rolling, and he's going to keep picking off these lap cars. See if it's helping Kevin Thomas Jr. the lead. Justin Grant works through, shrinking a little bit down to 2.2 seconds. Brady Bacon has caught up to the tail tank, that bright orange tail tank of Logan Seavey. Remember, if Seavey finishes inside the top 10, Brady Bacon or KTJ, either one of them, need to finish in front of Seavey by 4 spots. Speaking of 4, there's Justin Grant. We're past the halfway point, 13 laps this time by. Boy, Brady Bacon trying to wear out Logan Seavey. Bacon with a good run out of 4, but his momentum's going to be stalled. Yellow flag waves. Trouble in the middle of turns 3 and 4. That's Cole Bodine, and this could be the last chance you have at passing them all. They're all bunched up. Green flag flies. Justin Grant takes us back into turn number 1. Kevin Thomas Jr. sets the hook way down low, but he's only going to slide up and watch as that number 4 drives away. So as Kevin Thomas Jr. runs right now in that second spot, needing to beat Logan Seavey by 4 positions, this could turn to Kevin Thomas Jr.'s fortune in just a few laps. Kevin Thomas Jr. picked up the Indiana Sprint Week title back in 2017. Chase Stockton has found his way right next to the 3R of Kyle Cummins. They battle tooth and nail here for that 3rd position. 2 laps left as they come across the start-finish line. Justin Grant looks good. Kevin Thomas Jr. looks even stronger as he runs right there in 2nd spot. Boy, Kyle Cummins missed the bottom right there, climbed up over the berm at the entry to turn number 1. The white flag waves for Justin Grant in that NOS Energy Drink number 4. He searches for his 5th feature victory in 2021, and right behind him, KTJ. Grant's going to win the battle, but KT wins the war. Kevin Thomas Jr. is your 2021 Indiana Sprint Week champion.
In what has been a renaissance season, Kevin Thomas Jr. added one more tally to his ever-growing win list for the year, conquering a caution-free duel in the series return to Paragon Speedway following a 23-year hiatus. Further demonstrating his role is still ongoing from Indiana Sprint Week and showing no signs of letting up in the latter half of the year, KTJ couldn't hardly wait to end his personal absence from victory lane.
He brings KTJ along with him.
Yeah, I thought Seavey looked really good all night long, frankly. Kevin Thomas Jr.'s got a nice line going as he heads down the back straightaway, dogging C.J. Leary.
This is the fight for the lead as they come around to complete lap number 2. Seavey looks strong. Kevin Thomas Jr. trying to find exactly where he can pounce. If Seavey's going to make a mistake, KT's trying to find out where that would be. Seavey right there leads him down the back straightaway. 3rd place now belongs to Kyle Cummins. C.J. Leary got right back on his saddle and came after Cummins out of turn number 4. But Cummins in that rock-steady racing car, well, he looks plenty rock-steady.
steady. Chase Stockton right around the bottom of the front straightaway. Justin Grant, Jake Swanson, a pair of Californians trying to rattle his cage. Jake Swanson is going to get around for the 6th position.
Yeah, Jake Swanson and Justin Grant doing a good job. Meanwhile, Thomas really putting the pressure on Seavey.
Kevin Thomas Jr. right down to the inside of turn number 2. He's got the race lead. KTJ out in front. Kevin Thomas Jr.'s got Brandon Morin right down below him. Then the next driver up will be Brandon Maddox. The leaders have all committed to the top side as the slower cars work right down around the tires, down low. They're going to come around, not this time, but next time by to see the halfway flag. 16 laps in this one, 15 to go when they get back to the stand.
I'll tell you, Kevin Thomas Jr. had trouble coming off of turn number 2 last time. He banged the cushion right there. He drops down a little bit there and avoids that problem. Here again, he is rocketing to the top shelf, and Seavey is matching him pace for pace.
Seavey really starting to reel in. The Dr. Pepper presents the Ronald McDonald House Charities number 9K. Quick tip of the hat. Jake Swanson has gotten around Justin Grant. Move Swanson now inside the top 5. The battle for the lead not slowing down. The lap traffic not helping things either.
But there again, Brady Bacon somehow has got himself in another top 5 run. Here comes Logan.
Oh, Seavey has now completely cut in the lead, less than half of a second. It's down to 2/10. KT's going to have a lap car right in front of him. He doesn't get out of turn number 2 very well. Seavey able to close in even closer. 3 to go at the line.
He's going to come down the hill right there. Logan Seavey has been better at 3 and 4. If he can get closer, he's got a real chance to reel in Kevin Thomas Jr. and snatch his victory away. And there's the bubble.
KT working. He does a good job getting past lap traffic. They'll see the sticks this time by 28 down, 2 to go here in Paragon.
Oh, I thought that was going to cost Kevin Thomas Jr. with that lap marker, but no. But Logan Seavey has gone to the whip. Seavey's going to the whip.
Seavey's so good through the top of turn number 2. These two battled just a few weeks ago for a Bridgeport rocker during NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week by AMSOIL. They'll have one lap to settle the return of USAC National Racing here at Paragon Speedway. KT commits to the bottom. Seavey stays up top. They race down the back straightaway. One more time through 3. They'll aim out of 4. Kevin Thomas Jr. gets his 5th feature win of the season.
Oh, a classic race.
Justin Grant had practically won everything in the record book as far as USAC National Sprint Car competition at Kokomo Speedway goes. He'd won 8, 10, 12, 18, and 40 lap races in his career at Kokomo. One thing that was missing from his resume at the track, a standard 30-lap USAC Sprint Car feature win. That item was finally crossed off the list during the Sprint Car SmackDown 10 opener that was anything but standard.
Driver who picked up both nights' preliminary feature victories 1 year ago here at SmackDown number 9, Kyle Cummins is second. And boy, he's digging here, Rob. Cummins trying to go after the race lead.
Oh, he's trying to get the Southern Indiana boys to their feet. Those two now challenge for the top spot. Tanner Thorson quickly to the 3rd. Emerson Axel right there in 4th. Will clip off another lap this time by.
Tanner Thorson started this race back in 5th. He runs 3rd right now, but he's got the rookie Emerson Axel on the high side. Yellow flag waves, and my, oh my, that's your national championship point leader, Brady Bacon, sitting stopped in turn number 4. They make their way to the NOS restart can. 3 down, 27 to go.
And we're back at it here at Kokomo. So Cummins just got past Leary there. So we'll stack them up a little bit off before. It looks like we'll keep them clean and green. So Kyle will show the way down the back straightaway. Thorson is on the move. Axum in the 4th spot. And here comes Justin Grant looking for something to the top side of the 4 car.
Grant's working the high side, but Tanner Thorson's working the low side. That's CJ Leary. Remember, these two had fireworks back in Putnamville, Indiana during Indiana Sprint Week. Thorson has that bottom line all to himself. Leary says, that's all right, I'll try the high side. Thorson picks up the 2nd position. Leary doesn't want to just give it to him, though, so Thorson takes it.
He'll lead him by once again. Thorson, Leary, Grant right now starting to lose touch a little bit with your front 4. Then we've got a pair of veterans duking it out for the 5th spot. Wyndham on the move. Blue back to 6th. Here comes the 19 AZ in the bottom. We got a new leader.
Tanner Thorson takes command of this race. 11 laps in. They'll see 19 to go as we inch closer and closer to the halfway point. I think he's nailed the setup, and I say that because Tanner Thorson can put that chrome blue and white 19 AZ anywhere he wants. They've got 3 cars lap traffic stacked up in front of him, upside down over in 1 and 2.
Oh, we got one upside down. Stevie Sussex in the 77.
made his debut during sprint week. He ran really good at the Darlin. Night number 3, he's out front. 10 laps to tell the tale. Who's going to go where after the caution? We're back at it.
Prelim night number 1's feature is back to green flag conditions. They've got a 10-lap shootout, 9 laps remaining as they come around here. Kyle Cummins has Justin Grant hot on his heels. Tanner Thorson's got the whole field stacked up right behind him. Cummins bounces off the cushion at 2, gets a great run down the back straightaway. Cummins is going to race for the lead out of 4.
Oh, they're on their feet. Princeton, Indiana. Cummins technically trying to do what he needs to do. And we got one upside down.
Ballou, that's Robert Ballou. He's trying to do it again. He's got one driver to beat. Rocksteady Racing's Kyle Cummins has an inside full of Grant. Grant slides up through 1 and 2. Cummins crosses him right back over. Grant goes to the inside in 3.
Oh, look out. Here comes JG throwing a big slider on Cummins. They're dead even at the line. Elbows are up. Here we go at Kokomo.
3 laps left, 2 to go when they get back to the start-finish line. Grant dives right back down to the inside. He's going to slide all the way up the racetrack. Cummins is going to stay out in front. 2 laps left.
Oh, legendary Kokomo Speedway action on display here on a Friday night. Grant to the point. Cummins comes second. Can he answer, Tony? White flag, 1 to go.
That was a textbook Justin Grant slide job down on the bottom. He slid up through 1 to the top and to the front of the lead in turn number 2. Wyndham's going to come along for the ride. Down the back straightaway into 3, out of 4. Grant wins his 2nd national feature of the year here at Kokomo.
In a Sunsplash SmackDown matinee performance by the USAC National Sprint Cars, a sliver of daylight was all Kevin Thomas Jr. needed. The afternoon affair at Kokomo couldn't have come soon enough for KTJ, who admitted his confidence was a little low following the previous night's 11th place finish, which snapped his streak of 16 consecutive top 10s.
On the outside, he gets Rogers down on the inside. New race leader, the victor from last night, Justin Grant, in search of his 7th feature win here in 2021, but he's got himself a long way to go. 28 laps at the line. Rogers in second. KTJ down low. Nothing changing yet. KTJ continuing to work on Grant. That's for the race lead. 22 laps to go this time by. And keep an eye on Tanner Thorson. He started 5th in last night's feature. He started 5th in this feature. He ran 5th last night, but he led 10 laps in the process last evening. He's trying to get his way up to the front of this field. If Thorson can get there, Rob, he's going to be someone they all have to worry about. Turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Grant's already got that NOS energy drink. Number 4 bent to the inside, halfway down the back straightaway. Look at Logan Seavey, though. Shot out of a cannon from turn 4. He gets 2 for the price of 1. Seavey's your new race leader.
Oh, he found something upstairs with the cushion, Tony, and he drove past both of them like they were tied to a stump. So he'll go up to the cushion one more time. Now Grant will try to challenge back onto the inside. KTJ now comes a call on the bottom, and here comes the Macho Man. Brady Bacon now takes it to the top 3 in the 69.
Boy, Kevin Thomas Jr.'s really found something on the bottom, at least over in turns 1 and 2. He gets in the slick right there through 4. That opens the door. Brady Bacon walks right on through. New 2nd place driver is the Macho Man of Brady Bacon, and Logan Seavey is loving this. Race leaders making their way. Wow. Lap traffic to the inside, lap traffic to the outside, lap traffic behind him, lap traffic in front of them. Scotty Weir now finds himself in the middle of the battle for the race lead, and Rob, that number 5 of Logan Seavey can go anywhere he needs it to. 1 car around over in turn number 2, pulls a 360, yellow flag waves.
And he'll actually come to a stop there on the outside of turn number 2. A very slick and technical Kokomo Speedway. Here we go.
Logan Seavey brings him back to the green flag. Brady Bacon times the start as good as he can. He'll go right down to the bottom in turns 1 and 2. Seavey's got that orange number 5 rolling around the high side here. 6 laps to go when they get back to the starter stand.
Seavey will lead him by once again. Bacon now will try to close in to possibly make another run. Once again, Seavey will get up there now. KTJ says, look out, I gotta go. He'll go to the 2nd spot. Bacon back to 3rd. Kevin Thomas is hungry.
Inside of 5 laps, they'll see 4 to go here at the line. Logan Seavey right up on the wall as he comes out of 4. Yellow flag waves. It's another one around over in turn number 2. That's the reason for the stoppage. 5 laps to go. Seavey brings us back to racing.
Yep, absolutely. Derek Claxton back in the wrenches of the 5 car, and that's really what sparked that race team. Oh, KTJ as the 5 bobbles. He'll take the top spot. Just like last night, we got a new leader late in the A.
The Dr. Pepper presents the Ronald McDonald House Charities number 9K. Now out in front, 4 laps left in this one. KT goes right down to the bottom, and Seavey bobbles once again over in turn 2. Justin Grant joins him with troubles at the top of the far end.
Kevin Thomas has just got to make it around the Kokomo Speedway one more time. We'll use that low entry. Off of turn number 2, Kevin Thomas Jr., 2 corners away from a qualifying win in the SmackDown. Roll Tide Roll. Kevin Thomas Jr. going to pick up the matinee win here tonight. Seavey comes home in that second spot.
In essence, the 40-lap SmackDown Grand Finale at Kokomo came down to a 2-lap conquest for Justin Grant. A frequent storyboard for the event throughout its first decade has demonstrated that a final restart, and consequently, how one responds to it, can ultimately decide a driver's fate, regardless of the success that led up to that point. This time, $15,000 were on the line, and the green-white checkered conclusion gave us a Grant-Thorson gem that provoked both to bring out all the stops in order to put this one in their personal win column.
Find out what they need to do to be perfect here for 40 laps. Thorson, KTJ, Seavey, Grant and Bacon, your front 5 early in the going.
Justin Grant, Brady Bacon, and CJ Leary are having a great race back there. Grant currently scored in 3rd. Logan Seavey on the low side. He's in 4th.
So we'll watch Thorson once again. He'll use the top side through 3 and 4. Everybody in the front 6 right now. Following suit, we'll watch in 1 and 2. Thorson will swap it up and go to the bottom side here. That's where he found some speed. KTJ in tow, but here comes Justin Grant. Justin Grant go to the inside. JG now to 2nd.
Kevin Thomas Jr. wants to try and cross the NOS Energy Drink number 4 back up. He can't do it through 3 and 4, so KT works the low side through 1 and 2. KT tries everything he's got, but Justin Grant give him the 2nd position.
JG Justin Grant now visually sucking up to your leader only. That time at the line, 4/10 behind.
Yeah, Justin Grant getting closer and closer every single lap. He's working that high side. He gets shot out of a cannon from turn number 2. Grant down to the inside in 3. He slides up. Thorson stays in front for how much longer, though? Justin Grant smells blood in the water.
We'll try to make a loop and lap. Traffic will work lap number 15, 25 to go.
Oh, Thorson might get boxed in down low here with Matt Westfall. He's able to get out. Grant has to jump on the brakes, hangs a hard left. He throws it down to the inside of 3, slides up, bounces off the cushion. Thorson back in front, but Grant goes right back to the well. In turns 1, he slides up in 2, just like he did to Kyle Cummins 1 night ago. Justin Grant slides him for the lead over in turn number 2. Grant almost had his hands full through 1 and 2. He's working his way as patiently as he can through lap traffic, but the man knows he's got to go. He's got Tanner Thorson right behind. The lappers are doing their best to stay out of the way. Scotty Weir's night is done. Let's see if he's able to put any daylight between he and Thorson. No, it stays right at 1.3 seconds. Fire! Is that Cottle?
Shane Cottle's motor has just expired in a big way. Big puff of smoke and flame out of the 74.
Justin Grant waiting. Now he punches the loud pedal. Here we go. Down into turns 1 and 2. Tanner Thorson takes the biggest swing he's had all week long. He slides up. He's going to cover Grant. So Grant tries him back down in 3. Grant walks right up the racetrack. He bangs it off the wall. They've got 1 lap to go as Tanner Thorson, your pole sitter, chases the winner of the 2018 Kokomo Sprint Car SmackDown. Grant's got 2 corners left to defend. Thorson throws it all down the inside, and Grant gets the win.
And we're red here at the finish as the fireworks go off.
Following a bitterly disappointing end to his run in the midget feature less than 30 minutes before strapping into a sprint car, Tanner Thorson lived up to the adage, the best revenge is living well, during Huset's Speedway's USAC National Sprint Car feature on the opening night of the inaugural USAC Nationals. In the immediacy of jumping out of his damaged midget that sat facing the outside turn 2 wall, Thorson turned his focus to the sprint car and his upcoming leading role on the pole for the evening's 25-lap nightcap.
3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. They're 2 by 2 down the back straightaway. McDougal still working on the Madman.
You made the comment, Tony, they look like they were in formation, and that's hard to argue with. It looks like they're almost on a parade lap. Bacon trying to find some racing real estate. Trying to notch but one more top 5 for which he's famous.
Your race leader, Tanner Thorson, now finds himself in lap traffic.
Well, he looks like he's got it all dialed in, Tony.
So does Thomas Meseraull. Meseraull has cut that 1.5 second lead down by a full second. It was 0.5 last time. It's 0.4 of a second. This time, Meseraull really getting after it. His last lap was a 14.9. Thorson a 15.1. So Meseraull going to work here in the middle stage of this race.
Do everything right to get through traffic and put this one in the win column.
Oh, Brady Bacon right there working on the Madman. Robert Ballou scored his 14th heat race win of the season just a few hours ago when we were working through our heat races. Brady Bacon, he's the national championship point leader. This is the only portion of the night which will pay points towards the championship, so Bacon knows that he needs to get everything he can, but Robert Ballou wants to stand on the podium. They race for 3rd.
We've got one very slow on the back straightaway. We'll see if they can get in. The white flag is out.
White flag is out.
Now we go yellow.
As is the yellow. Boy, USAC, we know drama, and that's exactly what you've got. Ballou is in 3rd, Bacon in 4th. Jake Swanson will restart in the 5th position. They wait to see the green flag. They take off. 2 laps to go here at Huset's.
Yeah, there's a good start by Tanner Thorson. He gets a little bit washed out there coming off a 2, but no problem there. There goes Bacon. Hang on, Tony.
Oh, Bacon gets around for 3rd. Meanwhile, Ballou and Swanson make contact through 3 and 4. White flag waves. Thorson's lead at the line. 0.3 of a second. That's all he needs. He walks him through 3, keeps it up top out of 4. He'll get his win, number 4, right here on night number 1 of the USAC National.
Yeah, good run by Thomas Meseraull, Brady Bacon, Robert Ballou.
CJ Leary loves winning races, and he sure has a knack for doing just that, especially when he possesses a good race car, which, in turn, gives him a boatload of confidence. And when everything comes together on both sides of the coin, that's when reaching victory lane becomes a reality, just as it did on the second night of the Houston Speedway USAC Nationals.
You keep your eye on that back of the field,
Absolutely.
don't you, Pat?
Yes. Got my eye on right now, and you know, it may be a situation where Justin is just going to turn a couple of laps and bring it in and sort things out. We'll wait and see. Meanwhile, up front, we got a battle for the lead.
They're not just turning laps up at the front. 3-time feature winner this season, C.J. Leary, trying to make Bill Michaels, number 77M, get up and go. He got up and got around Brady Bacon. That's Leary way down low, charging Charles Davis Jr. It's a drag race at the line. They're going to give the spot to Davis Jr., so Leary goes up and takes it from him through 1 out of 2. Leary's your new race leader. Leary works high, Bacon stays in the middle.
Boy, there is C.J. Leary going right down the middle. That's what he had to do, and he got it done.
That is exactly what he needed, because now Bacon has 2 lap cars between himself and Leary, and Jake Swanson goes around the high side. Swanson trying to steal the 2nd spot, and he does so. Stockton stays up top. Leary's going to have to find another way around the driver. That Hudson John Deere machine. Look at Swanson. He's right there. He's only got Clouser between him and Leary.
Boy, he just missed it very lightly there, did Swanson. Now he dives off the turn. It's still C.J. Leary.
Both leaders staying right at the top of both ends of the speedway. They come out of 4 down the start-finish line straight. 5 laps left in this one. Oh, Swanson bangs it off the wall in 1.
No problem, though. He's able to get back on the track. And there goes Brady Bacon diving down low. This is going to get interesting.
Oh, Jake Swanson survives, but he's saying, bro, what are you doing? Let's go get Leary. Leary stays out in front. Thorson slides Bacon. Bacon slides him back. They go into turn 1. 2 laps to go. It's a slide fest for the last step on the podium.
Yeah, and if he could take his hands off the wheel, C.J. Leary just rubbing his hands together in lead, because that ultimately looks like that'll hand the victory to C.J.
His first victory of the season came back at Babs Motor Speedway. Then he won. Oh, no. 1 car upside down over in 1 and 2. Yellow lights on. That's one of the Elk Grove Ford machines. 17W Bernal. Robert Ballou involved as well. 3 Californians right there.
Oh boy, Ryan's looking somewhere, and he's saying, you know what? This racetrack is number 1.
Stay tuned and find out. C.J. Leary takes us back for 2 laps of racing here at Huset's.
Jake Swanson made a move down to the bottom. Was that a little too early? We'll wait and see. He loads up down the back straightaway.
Thorson moves up to third after getting around Bacon on the restart. He's going to challenge Jake Swanson right there. Swanson jumps out of it. Thorson moves into second. White flag waves. Leary's got 3 feature wins to his credit here in 2021. The rest of the field still trying to sort themselves out. Leary's got nothing but clear track ahead for him to see the checkered flag. He wins night number 2 of the USAC Nats.
When CJ Leary gets on a roll, he routinely displays his ability to ride that hot streak as long as he possibly can. In fact, over the past 6 seasons, no driver has won 2 in a row more often with the series than Leary. During Sunday night's inaugural Huset's Speedway USAC Nationals finale, Leary hit the setup perfectly once again and turned Huset's into his personal ATM, collecting the biggest single-day prize of his racing career with a payday of $20,000.
The top 4 drivers have all won a USAC National Championship of some sort. That's why they're there. There goes Wyndham. There's Bacon looking to the outside.
There's a lot happening quickly at the front of the field. How about Chris Wyndham diving down to the inside through 3 for the top spot for a moment. Drag race at the line. Who gets credited? Wyndham showed as the leader that time. Up the back straightaway. He knew that he needed to work the top side through 3 and 4. Brady Bacon works down low.
Wow.
Take the Macho Man, put him up into second until Chris Wyndham gets a good run down the back.
Yeah, but watch Bacon. He just hiked the wheels. He got on the gas coming out of turn number 4. He's got a hot run. CJ Leary, he's very much in this battle.
Seavey's Baldwin Fox Racing teammate Alex Benales pulls off the racetrack down through 1 and 2. He wants nothing to do with this 4-car race lead as Chris Wyndham has the spot. We're 10 laps in.
There's Brady Bacon trying to shut off that lane that CJ Leary has worked on the bottom. That green and black car, the Michael Motorsports entry. Leary's got a hot rod too.
Leary looks really good down there on the bottom. He's side by side at the line with Brady Bacon. They're trying to sort out who will run third. Meanwhile, Logan Seavey now has his hands full with CJ Leary. They race for second. They've got that Baldwin Fox Racing number 5 rolling pretty nice because Logan Seavey has the confidence to turn it left, to turn it right, to run low, to run high. CJ Leary won last night. He takes over the second spot.
Yeah, Justin Grant has also found his mojo one more time in the top number 4.
So let's see what CJ Leary can do as far as reeling in your race leader, Chris Wyndham. We near the halfway point of this one. 23 laps left, and as soon as I say it, Leary starts to do it. He is really getting on the spurs.
Oh, look at how he came off of turn number 2 the last time. He found something there on the bottom, and there that gets blocked off by Wyndham. Almost as if he had a crystal ball and saw it coming.
That Kodiak Products number 77M looks solid. He took a full half second out of Chris Wyndham's lead last time by. Wyndham feeling a lot less comfortable now because Leary barnstorms him on the inside. They split Isaac Chappell. That's the race for the lead.
You talked last night about what CJ Leary's sponsor means. Well, Chris Wyndham was once known as the Bear, and there they are, 1 and 2.
He now sets his sights on taking third away from the Macho Man.
Here's the battle for the lead. There goes Wyndham to the high side. 1 lap traffic to deal with, and there goes Chris Wyndham.
Wyndham around the outside.
But we are yellow.
As the yellow lights come on. Leary was dominant and impressive in scoring his 4th feature win of 2021 one night ago. Brady Bacon trying to equal that mark here tonight. They run down the back straightaway for the final time. He did it on Saturday. He'll do it on Sunday. This time it pays 20 grand. Leary wins the USAC Nationals.
No driver has won more often during the 2021 USAC National season than Tanner Thorson. Likewise, no driver has been victorious more often under the Friday Night Lights this season than he, who added a 5th to his prolific rookie campaign to become the winningest first-year driver in series history on this night in the series debut at Circle City Raceway, the first USAC National Sprint Car event held at a dirt track in Indianapolis since 1984.
That race car, you couldn't miss it in a snowstorm, but KT goes down to the bottom through 3 and 4. He's racing with Chris Wyndham. Move KTJ now into second.
Keep an eye on CJ Leary. He wins in bunches. He's got that green and black Michael Motorsports car alongside Brady Bacon.
And it's really leader's choice. How do you get through the lap traffic at that time? I bet he catches them within this lap.
It's leader's choice to decide where to go, but those follow can watch that decision and take other action.
Brady Bacon gets around KTJ. Move the Macho Man now up to second. He started this race in 6th.
He has been been up front in the points for many, many weeks, but it's been a while since he's been in victory lane.
One goes right around in front of Thorson. The leader avoids it. Yellow flag waves. And there's one over in turns 3 and 4. The report is that Lewis just nicked that infield tractor tire down through turn 3, and he went over on his own. 10 down, 20 to go. Green flag waves. We're racing at Circle City.
So Kevin Thomas Jr. in some ways gets an opportunity again, and he comes off down the back straightaway hard. There goes CJ. Keep an eye on CJ, Tony.
CJ Leary working the top side as he's trying to crack the top 4 now. Leary in that black and green 77M for Bill Michael. Works down the back straightaway. Race for the lead up front, though. KTJ going after the 19AZ. Tanner Thorson out front.
I thought it was interesting that Tanner Thorson went down there between 3 and 4. That might be the best line, but to me, that put KTJ back in the mix.
Kevin Thomas Jr. doing exactly what you have to do right now, which is search around the racetrack and find the line that works for you. Thorson, he's committed to the top. He's ripping around, but KT gets a good pull on the exit of turn number 2. They've nearly been even this entire lap. Who's going to lead at the line? Still Thorson out in front.
This is a classic high-low confrontation. Fun to watch, and when they get into traffic, it's going to be even more interesting.
Here they come around, Pat 15 down, 15 to go, halfway home here at Circle City Raceway, and it's the driver with 6 feature wins, KT, going after the driver with 4. KT again as out in front just for a moment there on the back straightaway, but Thorson has made the top work.
Now, Emerson Axon may be able to use the high side to get alongside KTJ, but now goes to the bottom. What a savvy move that was.
Oh, but he rotates too much.
Too hard.
And KT gets gathered up in it. Not a lot of damage done, but enough to take KT out of a podium position. Axum was right there as well. So now those two have just a couple laps, 7 to go at the line, because it's Chris Windham and now Jake Swanson sitting in 2nd and 3rd. It's a 3-car race for 2nd, but down the back straightaway, here he comes. 5th win of 2021 is going to go to Tanner Thorson here at Circle City.
It wasn't all that long ago that Kevin Thomas Jr. considered himself lap traffic at Tri-State Speedway. 3 years removed from his last moment of exuberance at the Hopstad Indiana Quarter Mile, the all-time leader in Hopstad Hustler victories was back on top with his 4th career win in the 14th edition of the 40-lap event to equal himself with Kyle Cummins as the winningest USAC Sprint Car driver at the Southern Indiana State.
Makes up for his bumble a lap ago because Brady Short has trouble, and Chase Stockin takes over the top spot. Brady Short, your pole sitter and early race leader, now sees the tail tank of that green and yellow Hudson John Deere machine for KO Motorsports. He's got the keys and about everything else with Tri-State Speedway on it. He runs in 5th, Kendall Rubel 6th, Bacon, Thorson, Windham, and the rookie. There's been a change for the lead at the front. Your pole sitter, Brady Short, gets back out in front. Chase Stockin, though, not just going to let him have it, and quite quickly, they've already found themselves deep in lap traffic. Justin Grant starting to receive pressure from KTJ, because KTJ, he's starting to receive pressure from Kyle Cummins. Field comes around. 10 laps will be complete this time by 10 laps down, 30 to go. Brady Short led early. Chase Stockin got around, and there goes Grant by Stockin. Stockin charges right back to the bottom through 3. He'll slide up on the exit of 4. Justin Grant picks up the pieces. JG now into the 2nd spot. To your race leader, Brady Short, the driver from Bedford, Indiana, now has contact with Grant. Justin Grant and Short get together on the exit of turn number 4, and somehow they keep it pointed in the right direction. Kevin Thomas Jr. and Kyle Cummins were able to slip on by. Race leader is Kevin Thomas Jr. Cummins up to 2nd. Brady Short after pretty big contact with Justin Grant. Well, Brady only falls back to 3rd. Grant scored in 4th. Brady Bacon is the driver in the 5th position. Wow. The Rookie of the Year leader, Thorson, now up to 5th position. Brady Short's car going away here past the halfway point. Yellow flag waves. One car slow, pulls down to the inside. Kyle Cummins up against the wall. Backed it in over there on the exit of turn number 4. 6 laps to go here for $12,000. Green flag waves. Kevin Thomas Jr.'s got to get real gone if he wants to make a good chunk of change, because he's got the winningest driver here in 2021 with the USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car Championship. Justin Grant right behind him, and Brady Bacon. He's your 3-time and defending National Series champion. He runs third. They'll see the white flag this next time by. Alan said it. Kevin Thomas Jr. saw the door wide open when Brady Short and Justin Grant got together. He saw that door open wide. He ran right through it headlong, and he's not looked back. He was victorious so many times here in previous Hopstad Hustlers. He's going to add his 4th Hustler to his resume. KTJ wins here at Tri-State.
Tyler Courtney had 1 goal and 1 goal only in his mind coming into the 39th running of the 4 Crown Nationals at Eldora to win all 4. But after running a distant 5th in the preceding midget feature, Courtney admitted having to dig deep to shake off the disappointment heading into the 30-lap USAC Sprint feature. Once the green flag was dropped, however, the burning desire immediately rekindled within, adamantly staking his claim that he wasn't going to let this one slip from his grasp.
Side beautifully as well.
Laps clicking off quickly here, man. Chris Windham really slows down on corner entry, sets himself up, and then gets right back on the power, and he's able to ride all the way around the wide side of this racetrack. Seavey goes down low in 3. Windham jumps on the brakes. He's not going to be able to cross it back over. Seavey to the front.
Now, we'll see if Logan Seavey can really break free now, because he obviously has a good race car. Now Chris Windham's in a fight back position. Logan Seavey stomps on the pedal as he goes into turn number 3.
No doubt, every time any one of these drivers is in a race, that's the race they want to win. Logan Seavey, he hates that he missed out in the USAC NOS Energy Drink National Midgets, but he's out to get revenge against Chris Windham as Tyler Courtney moves into the 2nd position. 18-8 for Courtney, 19-1 for Seavey. Sunshine, the faster of the 2, out on the track. Let's see what the gap is here at the line. It goes from half a second, Pat, to 3/10. Courtney goes way down low.
Hold your breath.
That 7 BC bounces off the outside wall. Seavey takes command of this one again.
That's not hyperbole. He absolutely did bounce off the wall.
Courtney starting to get close again. He's rebounded well, Pat, since banging it off the wall over right about there in turn number 2. He'll work on the high side. Seavey knows he's there, no doubt.
I don't know how hard he hit the wall for a 1 mile. I wondered how much that might upset the car. I think the answer is 0. Here he comes out of 4.
They've seen the crossed flags now inside of halfway. 14 to go. Sunshine slides right up across the bow of Seavey. Seavey stays at home, puts his foot in the gas, and the Baldwin Fox Racing 5 right back to the front. So move JG up to 5th. Courtney bangs it off the wall once again, but he's not going to lift this time. He keeps his foot in it, but Seavey beats him out of 2.
Watch Tyler Courtney. Last time by, he would just throw it up. Handfuls of dirt as he was working the outside. Here comes the momentum run, and he may have it at the line, and he does.
Logan Seavey is going to have nightmares about chasing NOS Energy Drink sponsored cars around the Eldora Speedway, because Tyler Courtney has taken over charge of this race with 8 laps to go. Sunshine out in front.
The big issue is, can Logan Seavey continue to put pressure on Tyler Courtney, because he's almost come a cropper on the high side on at least 2 occasions. There goes Logan fighting back.
If Courtney didn't tag the wall at least a little bit out of 4, he got as close as you can get. I think that hurt his momentum a little bit, and that's what's allowed Logan Seavey to get within striking distance. But once again, Courtney keeps it right up there on the white walls. Seavey's going to take a look through 1 and 2, but that number 7 BC, Pat, it is stuck to the top of the track.
I'm telling you, Logan Seavey's had the bit between his teeth all night, and once again, he's showing you that he's as tough as nails as he's going toe-to-toe with one of the Eldora Masters.
Here goes Tyler Courtney, Sunshine, white flag, 1 lap to go. He's been the busiest driver at Eldora Speedway. Logan Seavey, he's had his fill of runner-up finishes. He's going to give it everything he's got one more time. Down into 3, through 4. Tyler Courtney continues his reign of dominance here at Eldora. He wins the sprint car feature.
Winning performances in USAC National Sprint Car competition at the Terre Haute Action Track are reserved for greatness. None have been greater in this era at the Western Indiana Dirt Oval than Chris Windom, who engineered his 8th career series victory at Terre Haute, elevating him into a three-way tie with USAC and National Sprint Car Hall of Famers Gary Bittenhausen and Jack Hewitt as the track's winningest USAC National Sprint Car driver ever. Windom entered the event as the only 4-time winner of the Jim Hurtubise Classic and left the premises as the lone 5-time victor of the event in what was truly a historic milestone win.
And heads down the back straightaway.
Field gets away cleanly. Lap number 2 underway here. Jake Swanson, that Team AZ driver, well, he knows his way to second place on the podium. He's done it plenty of times here in 2021. It's early, Pat, but he looks good.
Now, he's had a great year, winning the Josh Burke Memorial down at Bloomington Speedway, a big money race, but here comes Big Daddy right in the rail.
Yeah, Chris Windom gets shot out of a cannon down turn number 2. He'll challenge your pole sitter, Robert Ballou, for the second spot, down through 3, out of 4. The Madman looks to have the position as they exit the final corner. Windom looks solid. He takes second away.
Let's see what right now Jake's going to do. Can he split those cars? Will he go high? Will he go low? There is Windom right on him, has the advantage of being able to react to the leader.
Yep, Jake Swanson definitely having to work hard both physically and mentally inside the cockpit of that 21 AZ. He does a good job, though, Pat, of working through those 2 slower lap cars. They come down to complete another lap. Windom's going to get mighty close there, right along that inside guardrail, but he doesn't have enough. He drifts up and stays in second.
How did he carry that much momentum into turn number 1 and make it work? Windom drove in there so incredibly hard.
Half of a second. Windom doing a good job with both drivers finding clear track out in front of him. Swanson does not have a good turn number 2. Windom's as close as he's been all night. He throws it down into turn number 3. Windom going right after Swanson for the race lead. They come out of 4.
Swanson with nerves of steel hangs onto that high side. There goes Windom diving down to the bottom again. Will he slide him in front of him? Oh, he does, a slider.
He pulls a mighty tight slider on Jake Swanson some way. Somehow it's stuck. Both drivers able to make it out of turns 1 and 2, but this time in a new order. Chris Windom, your leader.
Jake Swanson's got to hang tough, calm his nerves, work the outside groove. He's done that so incredibly well. White flag is already out.
White flag waves here at the Terre Haute Action Track. Jake Swanson, he was the story of the first half of this race, but the story of the second half of this one has been Big Daddy Chris Windom. He picked up the victory here at the Holman back in May. He's been dominant since the cross flags flew. Chris Windom is making his way around the track. He's won here at the Jim Hurtubise Classic.
Kevin Thomas Jr. knew it was coming. On the fly, he had to conjure up a plan on whether to fight the inevitable slide job in the final lap or just let it happen and prepare himself with a countermeasure in response. After missing his mark in turn 1 on the 30th and final lap of the Fall Nationals at Lawrenceburg, those exact thoughts raced through his mind in his pursuit to become the first ever 3-time winner in the event's history.
You can say that again. Emerson Axum looked really, really strong, was running up near the front of the field about 2 weeks ago during the USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car trip to Circle City Raceway, just outside of Indianapolis, Indiana. He ended up with a 7th place result there. Now he's leading, but having to deal with lap traffic in a 410 non-wing for the first time. Logan Seavey, this is not new territory to him. Neither is it for Kevin Thomas Jr. The teammates at Petrie Motorsports in the midget side of things race each other for the lead here at the Fall Nationals. Axum out front, but KT wants the top.
Chris Windom is coming, but still up front, Emerson Axum and KTJ.
Windom looks great right now, Chad. He's up to the 4th position. He took the green flag for this one in 8th. He wants to go plus 1 more, and he does it. Windom now around Logan Seavey, 8th to 3rd, as we're going to come around to see the crossed flags halfway home. 15 down, 15 to go, a little bit farther back, a little bit of side-by-side racing, as that's the Macho Man Brady Bacon getting around Jake Swanson. That's going to be for the 6th position, move Bacon up another spot.
And KTJ is starting to apply a lot of pressure to the youngster Emerson Axum, who gets a little bit sideways out of turn number 2. Here goes KTJ taking a peek to the inside of Axum. Axum's going to have the momentum off of turn number 4, but a great battle for the race lead.
KT dove so deep down in turn number 3, Chad, as another car is going to pull off over in turn number 2.
Well, Tony, with just less than 5 laps to go, the top 5 are on the same straightaway. It is incredible nailed it. 5 laps to go. Here goes Bacon. Bacon looks to the inside of Tanner Thorson for 4th. Thorson gets the better of him off of turn number 4, but the lead battle is heating up once again with KTJ.
Kevin Thomas Jr. has the bit between his teeth. He's going to run and gun Emerson Axum as hard as he can. Out of 2, down the back straightaway. They head for turn number 3. When they get to the other side, they'll see 3 laps to go. It's a right rear down on Axum, and that's going to give the lead to KTJ. The yellow will wave. Driven by Coleman, Alabama's Kevin Thomas Jr., but he's got last night's winner, Chris Windham, hot on his trail. Green flag is going to wave. 4 laps to go here at the Bird.
Yeah, I know nobody's going to go anywhere, but you like to say the cliche, don't go anywhere, as we have, yes, less than 4 laps to go. Kevin Thomas Jr. leads him out of turn number 4. He's got a 3-car length advantage over Chris Windham.
3rd place is heating up right now. Tanner Thorson has the position. Brady Bacon finds a bunch of speed around the high side, has to jump on the brakes, takes a hard left. He goes down to the inside of Thorson, side by side through 3. Thorson's going to edge Bacon out at the line for the 3rd position. 2 laps to go here at the Bird.
2 laps to go, and Chris Windham's got it wound up on the high side. He is setting up Kevin Thomas Jr. for what could be a last lap pass off of turn number 4. Tony, the white flag waves. 1 lap to go.
Chris Windham picked up his 2nd feature win of 2021 last night at the Terre Haute Action Track. Kevin Thomas Jr.'s already got 7 feature wins. Windham throws the bomb down into 3. He's going to slide up. JT's going to stay at home, and he's going to pick up $10,000 here at the Fall Nationals.
With 4 runner-up finishes throughout his first full USAC AMSOIL National Sprint Car season, Jake Swanson wasn't about to settle for yet another in his ongoing pursuit of a first career series victory during the opener for the 25th Oval Nationals at Paris. In fact, running 2nd entering the final set of turns on the last lap wasn't sufficient enough to satisfy the Anaheim, California native who was making his first trip back to his home track since becoming a permanent resident of Indiana about a year ago. Not only was it dramatic with a Hail Mary and a shower of sparks raining down, for Swanson it was a dream fully realized, a dream come true.
Swanson had a little peek on the inside of Kevin Thomas Jr. through 1 and 2 that last lap. Here comes Jake again trying to go to the inside. DeFoy a little wheelie right in front of the 2 cars battling for the lead. It's getting on now. Here comes Jake Swanson. Brady Bacon right behind the top 2. Still stuck behind Eddie Tapoya Jr. Laps down, 12 to go. Thomas finally gets to the outside of Tapoya. Jake Swanson going to follow him through. Swanson taking a look at the outside, coming off turn number 4. Thomas pulls it back up onto the racetrack as he goes around McCarthy. Trying to put a lap on Chris Ganson. Ganson drops it down on him. And Jake Swanson pulls right to the back end of Thomas. Thomas gets a little wide, sideways, coming off the corner. Jake looks high, now Jake goes back down low. Jake Swanson trying to make a move. Kevin Thomas a better drive off turn number 2, maintains the lead. Jake goes to the inside of Ganson, tries to go to the inside of Thomas. Swanson got a little bit of the inside berm. Here he comes, new leader Jake Swanson. 5 laps to go, looking for his first ever USAC National Sprint Car Series win. Kevin Thomas Jr. goes back around the outside as Jake gets caught behind a lap car. Good run off turn 2 by Thomas. Now Jake goes around the outside of Bender. Now he's on the attack of the leader one more time. 2 laps to go this time by. Jake again on the low line. Thomas on the wide line. Coming off turn number 2. Thomas again, just another nice drive off the corner. Brady Bacon still running in 3rd. Last lap flag about to fly. Does Jake Swanson have anything left? They're coming up on the lap car of Charles Davis Jr. Into turn number 1 the final time. Oh, Jake goes a little wide. Brady Bacon tries to go to the inside. Into turn number 3. Jake going to run it wide out going through 3. Jake Swanson inches ahead. Checkered flag going to come down. Wind goes to... No, you picture that one. 3rd place was Brady Bacon. 4th was Leary. For the first time ever, USAC National Sprint Car Series main event winner, Southern California native Jake Swanson.
In a season that has been earmarked by consistency matched by no other individual, feature wins have been, rather surprisingly, relatively few and far between for Brady Bacon. As it turned out, all Bacon needed was a little bit of good fortune to fall his way, somehow, someway, on night 2 of the Oval Nationals at Paris, when a broken nozzle line held leader Justin Grant hostage on the final lap.
Running 6 after lap 1. Two laps in the books. Justin Grant trying to get a run on the outside. Tanner Thorson looking down low. Thorson trying to move into the second place spot. And he does. Squeezes Grant on the back straightaway. Thorson takes over second. Now he goes to the inside of Brady Bacon. New leader. I'm not sure. That looked like the finish of last night's main event. And Thorson takes the lead from Brady Bacon on lap number 3. Same time, Jake Swanson trying to go to the inside of CJ Leary for 5th. Upside down front straightaway. That's Sterling Kling. Other car involved, Hollywood Danny Freya Jr. Green flag. Good restart for Tanner Thorson. Now coming off turn number 4, Justin Grant goes to the inside of Bacon. Move Justin Grant up to second. Now Tanner Thorson puts about 6 car lengths between himself and Brady Bacon. Damian Gardner has slipped back to 12th as his good buddy Chase Johnson got by him. New leader down the back straightaway. Brady Bacon takes the lead away from Thorson. Now Thorson being challenged by Justin Grant in the lap traffic. Justin Grant dives to the inside of Thorson, takes over second in turn number 4. All of a sudden, Justin Grant started to chop down the lead Brady Bacon had built up. Justin Grant goes to the inside. Bacon going to try to cut back underneath him. Justin Grant takes the lead. There'll be 2 laps to go this time by. White flag the next time. Kevin Thomas Jr. still running in 4th. 5th spot Leary, 6th spot Swanson. White flag, 1 lap to go this time by. Justin Grant takes the win. He'll lead the series in victories this year with 8. Now here comes Brady Bacon trying to take the lead back. Justin Grant may have a flat right rear tire. Bacon back out front. Thorson to second. Checkered flag going to come down this time by. Victory number 3 on the year for the point leader, Brady Bacon.
Like any young person raised on the sport of auto racing, having heroes of your own is a natural consequence. Kevin Thomas Jr. is among those individuals. One of KTJ's racing heroes just so happens to be among the select gifted few who themselves have won the Oval Nationals on 3 occasions, Dave Darland. Following his performance on the final night at Southern California's Paris Auto Speedway, a new name, a new face was engraved as the 4th driver to capture glory in the event 3 different times, along with Darland, Bud Kading, and Damian Gardner. Kevin Thomas Jr. is now among those individuals.
38 laps to go. Green flag. Jake Swanson battling with Kevin Thomas Jr. Thomas takes a look at the inside of Leary as they go down the back straightaway. Now Thomas goes wide into turn number 3. And he takes second away from CJ Leary. He's over a half straightaway behind Justin Grant. But all of a sudden, Justin Grant's getting ready to get into lap traffic again. Pulls up to the back of Carson Short. Chase Johnson right in front of those two. Now a huge group of lap cars right in front of the 2 leaders as they come off turn 2. Thomas sweeps wide through 3 and 4. Grant still out front. Lappers aplenty right in front of the leaders. They're going to be in the middle of it in just a couple seconds. Grant mounting the low line. Thomas playing smart. Going where Grant is not. Now he has to go down to the bottom line. Cars running the top and bottom, side by side in front of the leaders. They try to thread their way through the traffic. Kevin Thomas Jr. about 1 car length behind Justin Grant. Grant on the bottom may get trapped. Out of turn number 4. Kevin Thomas Jr. takes the lead. Justin Grant takes it right back. Still dicing through traffic. This time it's Grant on the wide line, Thomas on the lower line. 4 lap cars side by side right in front of them. Mahako takes it off the racetrack. Grant goes to the wide line coming off turn number 2. 3 abreast down the back straightaway. Justin Grant inches ahead. Excuse me, Thomas inches ahead. Justin Grant took it right back again. There'll be 4 laps to go this time by. They get by Charles Davis Jr. It should be clear sailing without the lappers. Kevin Thomas Jr. goes to the bottom. Something flies off Justin Grant's car. May have been a wheel disc, not sure. Kevin Thomas Jr. trying to come by on the inside. Kevin Thomas Jr. on the low line. Side by side, Kevin Thomas Jr. out front with 3 laps to go. Justin Grant keeps it wide. And Thomas starting to pull away. 2 laps to go until his 3rd Budweiser Oval Nationals Championship. Kevin Winters about to throw the white flag. 1 to go for Cullman, Alabama's Kevin Thomas Jr. Once out front, he just flat pulled away from Justin Grant, but something flew off Grant's car about 3 laps ago. Checkered flag going to come down. It's going to be 3 out of the last 4 Oval Nationals victories to Kevin Thomas Jr.
There's just something magical in the symbiosis between Brady Bacon and Western Roll. Bacon collected his 10th career Western Roll victory on the opening night of the event at Arizona Speedway, and in turn, cemented his 4th career USAC National Sprint Car Driving Championship with 1 race remaining. The milestones were racked up in droves throughout the night, with Bacon also becoming just the 9th driver to win at least 40 USAC National Sprint Car features. Not in a single night, of course, that would be a record, but 40 for his career, in an event which he has won some more, then won again.
Yeah, still trying to get a fill out for the racetrack. You see those cars work on the bottom side as Logan Seavey up top. He is racing away from Jake Swanson and Sterling Kling as now Swanson goes top shelf as Kevin Thomas Jr. drops his nose down the inside. KTJ down the inside of Kling. He moves into 3rd. It's Seavey out front, followed by Swanson, Thomas, Bacon, Leary, your top 5. And now here comes Tanner Thorson. His cars come to life in that number 19.
Kevin Thomas Jr. and Brady Bacon make up some ground on Jake Swanson. Brady Bacon once again to the slide job, but KTJ going to cross him up, and Brady Bacon gets the spot.
Bacon takes the spot, but can he hang on to as Kevin Thomas Jr. looks down the inside of Bacon. Bacon will lead him off of turn number 2. Now look to the inside of Jake Swanson as you got 5 cars getting ready to sneak into your picture off of turn number 4 as Logan Seavey just put Vernon Sweeney 1 lap down. They go side by side for 2nd behind Sweeney. It's Bacon down low, Swanson up top, and Seavey all the way up to the top side of the racetrack. Almost made contact with the turn 2 wall. He's still out front, ripping the lip as right now the tail end of the field is letting the race leaders go by on the outside, but for Kevin Thomas Jr., that's the problem because he's trying to take over that third spot from Jake Swanson using that low line. Get by the lap car, as Jake Swanson now finally able to do as Kevin Thomas Jr. He gets by the lap car. Chris Ganson right in front of him. We got one car spin around. KTJ makes contact with Jake Hessel. Oh no, Kevin Thomas Jr. wrong place at the wrong time. Looking for the green flag. It's in the air. We're underway. 9 laps to go. Can Logan Seavey hang on at number 5?
It'll be tough with the 69 of Brady Bacon hanging right there in tow, and Logan Seavey does not get as nice of a pull away that time as he did on the first start.
One driver had a nice run that opening first couple of quarters was Tanner Thorson, the 19, as they go 3 wide behind him. CJ Leary, Jake Swanson, and Charles Davis Jr. out front. Brady Bacon, though, he's leaving the left front at home. Nice little wheelie down the back straightaway. He looks to the inside of your race leader, Logan Seavey.
And Charles Davis Jr. up into the 4th position as it is now, but CJ Leary going to take that over at the stripe.
Yeah, Davis had the fans on their feet trying to take over that 4th spot from Leary as Brady Bacon now going to drag race. Seavey into turn number 3. Got Tanner Thorson now in your picture as well, the number 19. It's going to be a 3-car battle as they come to the line. Logan Seavey still has the top spot with 6 laps to go. Brady Bacon to the inside. Tanner Thorson had to get on the binders. He loses a lot of momentum as your top 2 stay side by side. Drag race into 3.
Logan Seavey got a little bit straightened out there. Tanner Thorson gets on the brakes to avoid it, and they all lose momentum there, but Brady Bacon gonna hang in there in the top, and Logan Seavey does it again and gets a little bit hung up there on the cushion coming out of 2.
Does he have enough with 2 laps to go? It's Bacon using the bottom side of the racetrack off of turn number 2. Logan Seavey with a strong run. He's now 3 car lengths back, 2 back, has it heading to turn number 3, and the white flag flies this time for Brady Bacon. White flag in the air. Brady Bacon goes down low. Logan Seavey going to rip the top side of the racetrack. He's going to pull up side by side on the final lap. Bacon with a good drive off. Here goes Seavey with the slide job in 4. He goes up the racetrack. Bacon comes back, and Brady Bacon will win tonight's main event at Arizona Speedway.
If at first you don't succeed, then dust yourself off and try again. After leading 25 of 30 laps before one tiny mistake cost him the victory the night before, Seavey vowed not to repeat his misfortune nor his ultimate fate, and instead fully intended to capitalize on the opportunity at hand in the season finale and the last ever USAC event to be held at the Santan Valley, Arizona venue before its permanent closure just weeks later.
Bottom side of the racetrack with Kevin Thomas Jr., CJ Leary trying to find some speed up top. He's side by side with KTJ, now trying to get around the number 92 machine of Austin Williams. He will do just that as Williams and KTJ now side by side for 3rd. One Kevin Thomas Jr., and he goes side by side with KTJ as they work their way down the back straightaway. Now he's going to go low. Tanner Thorson is able to move that car all over the racetrack as he gets past Kevin Thomas Jr.
Tanner Thorson just barely gets in front of Kevin Thomas Jr. there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Switched his lineup on us and confused. Kevin Thomas Jr. gets right back around Tanner Thorson there, but Thomas Meserol is on his way into the picture, and Jake Swanson in tow.
Yeah, T-Mez right now creeping in your picture as you got him running 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Those 5 drivers, you can throw a blanket on them as they come off a turn number 2. Austin Williams still trying to hang on to that 3rd spot as KTJ works his way underneath him. Tanner Thorson now going to peek his nose underneath the 92. There goes Jake Swanson from the top all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll sneak past Thorson, has his sights set on T-Mez. Off turn number 2, Seavey driving away from Charles Davis and Alex Benalis as they are wedged in between himself and the 2nd place runner right now of CJ Leary.
Thomas Meserol and Jake Swanson still hanging in there right as the yellow flag comes out.
Flat right rear. Tough break.
Just 0 luck for Kevin Thomas Jr.
Round out your top 5. Green flags in the air. We're underway once more here with 13 laps to go. Just past your halfway point. And Brady Bacon trying to throw something underneath these drivers off of 1 and 2 as CJ Leary pulls right up to the tail tank of Logan Seavey. He's going to throw the slider into 3.
CJ Leary with a big run on the 5 of Logan Seavey, but just misses it and gets a little bit high coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, Logan Seavey takes back the top spot. Had a little bit of issue there at the cushion in turn number 2. CJ Leary trying to re-attack now.
Definitely the dominant favorite right now for a lot of these guys. As Logan Seavey gets a little bit sideways coming out of turn 2. That is what lost him the race last night, Jason.
Yeah, he got a little sideways there coming off of turn number 2. CJ Leary had to wiggle down the back straightaway though, so he wasn't able to close the gap as they are side by side now behind CJ Leary. Jake Swanson the inside of Thomas Meserel. He'll take over that 3rd spot. Jake
Swanson just going to barely sneak in front of Meserel there, and now he looks like he's got a run on the 77 M of CJ Leary.
That Team AZ, number 21 AZ, has come to life here late in this one. It is 8 laps to go, and it's Logan Seavey out front, but Jake Swanson looking to make another pass, this time for 2nd on CJ Leary. Leary, though, drives away off of turn number 2 by 2 car lengths over Jake Swanson. Gave it up last night, did Logan Seavey. But here he is, out front, down the back straightaway, one final time off of turn number 4. Logan Seavey is a Western World Champion here at Arizona Speedway.
In 2021, Brady Bacon became just the 3rd ever driver to win at least 4 USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championships, joining Levi Jones and Steve Butler. His 36 top 5s and 41 top 10s throughout the 43 race season are the most in series history, breaking 2 records that Sheldon Kinzer had held since 1977. Bacon won 5 times in 2021, and his 40 career victories now stand 8th all-time alongside Gary Bittenhausen. He's one of the best in the business, and his Dynamics Incorporated Hoffman Auto Racing team is the all-time greatest. They're the winningest team in the history of the series and now a 13-time entrant champ.
It definitely feels good, you know, and to get back-to-back championships. I haven't ever been able to do that before. My guys overcame a lot of stuff this year, and that's pretty much what won us the championship.